Hello, all our lovely spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest podcast.
Woo!
For those of you who are joining us for the first... Wait, hold on. I'm Robin Grace, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And now, for those of you who those of you that are joining us for the first time, this is the Storytime episodes of our podcast where we share your homegrown horrors with you.
Indeed. And I usually ask you what a homegrown horror is, but this time I'll say it. It's the stories that you folks have sent us that are either scary, paranormal, creepy in some way, true crime sometimes. People have brushes with really creepy things that are just real life. Coincidental, where you thought there was like a ghost, but it turns out it was like your cat, something funny like that. Spiritual, some people have really touching stories that they send us about like seeing a loved one or having some sort of connection to someone who's passed away. And they're fantastic, and we get a lot of them. Some of them are directly from you, some of them are from your friends or from your family, and we appreciate all of them, and we want to read all of them. So if you have a story you'd like to send, please email storytime@scarish.com, or you can contact us on any of our social medias, and we have Facebook, which is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. We have @scarishpod is our Twitter, and @scarishpodcast is our Instagram. And you can also go to our website, scarish.com, click on Contact Us, fill out that form, and send it. We get a lot of them that way, and we appreciate every single one of them.
Yeah.
But like Robin said, we are going to read those tonight, and we do record these episodes live, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is around the time that it is right now, every Wednesday. So thank you to everyone who is joining us live. We appreciate all of you, and I think we're going to jump in. So here's the deal. We're going to be doing 5. 4 of them are rather long. I think 2 of them are really long, according to our editor, i.e. my mom. And 1 of them is very short. So I'm going to do 3 technically because 1 of them is pretty short.
So you're going first.
So I'm going to go first. Although I do want to cover something before we get into this because I meant to address it last episode, but I think we should probably discuss this Area 51 raid that's being planned. So I don't, like Robin and I have talked about it a little bit. We haven't really talked as in-depth as I wouldn't say in-depth as we're about to, but first and foremost, I am not going to this thing.
I'm not going.
So anyone who actually is considering going, I think for the most part, it's pretty clear that this is just sort of a funny joke, that everyone's just like fucking around to see how nervous they can make people and see how many people might be interested. And like the best meme I saw of it is that meme where like someone sees a hot chick and he goes to like walk after her and someone holds out his arm to stop him from doing it. The hot chick was named Area 51 Raid. The guy looking at her was Millennial. And then, like, the person that holds out the arm was, like, travel costs. And I was like, yeah, I think that's about as accurate as it's going to get on this one. So I think it's hilarious that this group started and it's just taken on a life of its own. Like, what do you think? Because, like, people have been posting a ton of shit in our Scary Spooky Friends group on Facebook.
I'm just in it for the memes.
Are you in it for them? They're so good.
For the memes. They're so good. There's a whole bunch about Naruto runners.
Yes.
Like,
Someone posted that the best part about this whole thing is that someone in the Pentagon had to brief a senior officer of what a Naruto run actually is.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, that's just so funny. And like, it's just the craziest thing. We've discussed it a little tiny bit, but like September 20th, if anyone goes, please go Facebook Live so I can see this massacre unfold before everything gets shut down. And then we'll all get an idea of like the government's capabilities for shutting down social media around like secure sites. So it's just some bizarre shit that I think is absolutely hilarious that I just definitely wanted to have like, let's take a moment to address this like officially. So
cool.
Right on. I'm going to move on to the first homegrown horror of the show. And the subject is Fat Ghost Update because we had one previously from America that was called Fat Ghost. It starts out like this. Hey, Adam and Robin.
Hey.
Just wanted to give you a quick update on the Fat Ghost situation at my office. As you might remember, our office alarm is being triggered at least once a week, but no one is visible on the cameras we have. Someone came to fix it, and I guess it worked for a while at least. After I wrote you, the alarm did not go off for a few days, and I did not hear anything about it, so I assumed it had stopped. Last week, we received a bill from SFPD, that's the San Francisco Police Department, I believe, because our alarm has continued to go off for the past month, at least once a week. We called the alarm company because we want them to pay for our SFPD fine, so they came today to check it out. According to the alarm guy, our alarm is working just fine. He says something must be triggering it. He is currently upgrading our system, so maybe that'll help with the problem, but I'd like to think that a 50-pound ghost comes to our office once a week to hang out. Hope you all are doing well. I wish I could go to the Winchester Mystery House. Maybe next time. Thank you for all you do. Love you, America. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
sending us the
much.
update. I think it's funny because we talked about how it had to be at least 50 pounds that would trigger this alarm.
Yeah.
We went over the story the first time, so she was just like, it must be a really fat ghost. Because if they're supposed to weigh nothing and it weighs 50 pounds, it's got to be huge.
I mean, you sent me a video earlier today of that doggo, and it looks like the security camera just picks up any little tiny movement. So.
Oh, yeah. There's a security camera that's like triggered like at home, like there's movement. And like it turns from looking outside to looking inside, and it's just this giant German Shepherd looking out the window. It's absolutely adorable. But if this is like a professional level system, like super expensive to the point where they're going to send someone out to upgrade the system, like that's just an anomaly. Maybe it's it's an anomaly. It's a ghost in the machine, perhaps. So fun stuff. Thank you for the update. Anyone who has sent us an email, it's like I'll keep you updated. If you have an update, now is the time to send it because we definitely want to know. So good stuff. Way to start the show strong.
Cool.
So let's look over in a stream chat, say hi to you folks, see what you have to say. I want to point out that we're using this updated thing to monitor our chat. And I'm typically the one that checks YouTube. Robin's typically the one that checks Twitch. And I have it set to filter to only YouTube. And it's still showing me everything. And I also cannot type back to anyone. So the official Scarish account can't respond to any of the things you say. So we will just talk to you guys like normal. But some of your messages might be missed because it is combined text and it has a limit where it starts deleting the top messages. So if that happens, no big deal. Just letting you know.
All right. So lots of hellos on my end. And 143 AM says, Alamani.
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 My mouth doesn't
Anemones.
work sometimes. See anemones. I don't know if I actually marked this break, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Fun. So Blanca Bella was the first one in the YouTube chat. Akbar says, Adam, save that woo. Akbar said on Discord that he wasn't sure if he was going to make it, and I told him that if he doesn't make it, I would woo either the longest or the loudest that I had ever wooed, and he made it. So he said, save that woo. And then he said, for another day, I fear that Robin won't forgive you, and then, by extension, me. Shout out to Tanya. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you for joining us, Miranda, for your first live stream. We do have this thing called Marbles on Stream at the end of the streams. So if it's your first time, it's usually beginner's luck. So usually their first stream, they win something. It's crazy.
Just like a race. All you have to do is be in Twitch at the end of the show. You type in play, basically, and that gets you a marble. All the marbles race to the end. Whoever wins gets like a little piece of merch. It's usually like a sticker or a coaster if we have any or something, but it's a really fun way to end the show. So stick around. We'll get to that once we're done with all of the emails that we have. What else do we have over here? Emma says, hi, Spooky Gang. Akbar says, looks like today will be slow. Now that I have made it to this, I will be lulled to sleep in heavenly peace. Good night. Who else we got? Etsley says, hello, peeps. Jesus and Etsy says, hi, everyone. We got a lot of people popping in and saying hi. Hopefully you guys are staying for the full show. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Twitch is, but I think I got to stick to YouTube for a while. LOL. I guess there's some issue over on Twitch for a few people. Hopefully it is not too bad. I show that we're doing okay, though, when it comes to dropping frames. So that's a good thing. No massive
Laura
lag.
Ann says, I subscribe via Amazon Prime, but I'm not sure if it actually worked. Does it take a while? It's usually immediate.
Yeah.
And you can tell by... if you have a little crown next to you, that means Twitch Prime, and you have a little ghost next to you, which means you're a subscriber. So you're good.
When did you subscribe, Laura Ann? Was it tonight? ? Or was it a different night? Because I can hopefully look back through.
Glitch already said it has a crown, so you're good. And she said, oh, good.
I'm just wondering if like our alerts aren't working. That's why I asked.
Ah, I see.
Yes. So
Yes.
let us know. Vivian has joined us. Thank you for joining us.
3
Vivian.
minutes ago.
3 minutes ago? Yep. I guess the alerts aren't working either. So
Can you press F5?
I don't want to. It might kill the entire stream.
Oh.
And like it doesn't work like that.
Oh.
So Miranda just subscribed. That one worked. So
Thank
shout
you.
out to you, Miranda. Thank you for subscribing via Twitch Prime. We appreciate you. Gonna keep scrolling through some of this YouTube chat over here. Vivian says, the fly last week ate Karen, so my name is now Vivian, in parentheses, my real name. So wow.
Oh.
She has shed her Karen cocoon and revealed herself to be Vivian. I don't even know what to think anymore. Major Wolf says, I'm here. Anna says, hey, y'all, watching in the middle of my pedicure. That is awesome.
It's solid. Nice and relaxing.
Yeah. Vivian says, Karen is actually my mom's name, and if you're wondering why I went by her name, the answer is simply because I fucking can. I love it.
Valley Girl says, I just tried to resubscribe just now, but it didn't alert either. So there must be something wrong with it. I don't know.
It's going to be on Twitch's end because one of them came through and a few of them didn't come through.
I think it's resubscribes.
That resubscribes aren't posting?
Zwazzle's also subscribed and stuff because it says so on that list that pops up. But it must just be an error of some sort. Hopefully it'll
let me
work
check.
itself out.
Yeah, resubs are not populating right now. I'm looking at it, and it's just showing everything from 7 days ago. No worries, folks. We appreciate you. Thank you all for subscribing, and hopefully that will get fixed ASAP. And let's be honest, we don't want to restart the stream just so I can rerun the notifications. But if it fixes and next week it shows them to me, I will do it. And if it pops up at any point, I will be happy to rerun those. What else do we have over here in YouTube chat? Vivian says, most of Stranger Things was good, but there were so many subplots, LOL. I feel like they had 3 main storylines going the whole time.
Yep.
So it was, I don't know, I sincerely enjoyed it. David has joined us. Cousin David, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. And then I have a bunch of Twitch chat that belongs to Robin. Vivian says, I cried for a good 20 minutes. And Jesus and Etsy say, I'm still crying.
I totally cried at the end of Stranger Things. I could not help it.
Let's not spoil anything, but there is a sad part to the end of Stranger Things.
I definitely
very
feels.
Touching. It's very heartfelt. I actually went out to drinks with some coworkers last night, and one of the ladies who's around 49, she was like, everyone was talking about their favorite Marvel superhero based on hotness. So I was, of course, just like, it's Chris Hemsworth. This conversation is silly. And she was like, I don't know about Marvel, but being 49, my priorities have changed about what I find attractive in a man. And I'm telling you right now that if I saw Hopper walk into this bar, I would fuck him in public in front of everyone. And I was like, that is awesome. I'm glad that you love Hopper that much. So
what?
It was just so funny the way she said it, because she was just super matter of fact. I don't care that he has a dad bod. I think he's fucking awesome. So shout out to Hopper. I absolutely love it. She was like, what's that guy's name? I was like, it's David Harbour. He's amazing. I love him. So,
well, all right.
Leo Chacha says, is there a delay on YouTube? The delay is typically around 2 to 10 seconds. What else do we got? All right, there's a bunch of stuff going through about the Stranger Things season 3. We'll let you folks talk that out while Robin moves on to her first email of the show.
Silverbit Sit says, Twitch is acting up again. Apparently, I'm not sure.
Twitch was acting up when I was watching Overwatch the weekend too, so I think Twitch is having a little bit of issues.
143 AM says, hi, this is Jangmi. I love you guys. Hello, Jangmi. It's
Hello.
been a while.
Thank you for joining us.
Stay a while and listen. Glitch Grim says, all I saw is jump upside down. It's okay. Oh, all I say is jump upside down. That's funny. Miranda Seals, I worry about how 11 will get documentation like birth certificates. I think because she's already been adopted by Hopper, he got some sort of documentation for her.
Yeah, spoilers for end of season 2 Stranger Things, but that government official hands Hopper a giant packet, and I don't think it was just adoption papers. I think it was she has an official identity type of thing now, but I don't think they're ever really going to address it, so who knows?
All right. So I'm going to go into my first email of the night, and this one is titled A Desecrated Graveyard.
Oh, no.
And it begins, hello, feel free to share on this pod, or this on the pod.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Rika. My name's Rika, and my pronouns are they and them. I'm also known as Aves Monster Online. Oh, that
Shout
makes
out
sense.
to Aves Monster.
Hello.
What up?
I thought I would share the origin story of a famously haunted location in my city that I always found interesting. I've lived in Denver, Colorado for my whole life and have accumulated quite a few spooky stories since it's supposedly one of the most haunted cities in the country. Of course, a lot of cities say the same thing, so who knows?
It's like hotels. We're the most haunted hotel in America.
Everyone wants to
Says
be.
everyone. Go ahead. You take the name.
Oh, thank you, Oso Dude 1902, for following us.
Thank you so much.
So
So follows are working, regular subs are working, and resubs are still having issues. But either way, we appreciate every single one of you in every single way possible. Big heart to all of you. You're great.
I've lived in... Fuck, I've already read that part. Hold on. This particular story is completely true and quite frankly pretty sad. Near downtown Denver are 2 adjacent parks by the names of Cheeseman and Congress. Back in 1858, these 2 parks were Mount Prospect Cemetery, a graveyard that became home to the bodies of many poor and less fortunate people up until the year 1890. Oh my god, dyslexia. By then, the cemetery had all but stopped getting used. The land was then sold to the city of Denver with the intention of being reformed into a park. The families of the deceased only had 90 days to relocate the remains of their loved ones, but since many of the graves belonged to vagrants and the poor, a vast amount of bodies went unclaimed.
That's horrible.
That
That's
is
so
super
sad.
horrible. An undertaker was hired 3 years later to move the remaining bodies. This undertaker was to provide a new box for each body and was paid by the casket. He was quick to find a very terrible loophole in this plan.
I knew this was coming as soon as you said paid by the casket.
Yeah, moving more caskets meant acquiring more money. And so the undertaker hacked up the bodies he found.
That's not where I thought it was going. I thought they were going to be empty.
I knew that's where it
Holy
was
shit.
going. Hacked up the bodies he found and placed them into separate child-sized boxes. He did his work hastily, resulting in body parts being carelessly strewn about the land. Some of these body parts were scavenged by various gravediggers and collectors, while others were simply left there. Some bodies were never even dug up to begin with. That's sad.
That is sad.
Where they're just left there and like paved
Like, how can
over
you be
or
laid
something.
to rest if, like, people either defile your body or, like, move your gravesite? You know, like, your family can't come see you again ever.
The desecration couldn't go unnoticed forever. Many people saw the aftermath and were horrified at the sight. The contract with the undertaker was terminated and the cemetery was closed off, but another effort to move the remaining bodies never came to be. The next year, in 1894, the construction for the park began with the remains still below.
That's so gross.
That those children are dancing with ghosts is what's going on. Oh my Lanta. It is estimated that approximately 2,000 bodies are still buried under Cheeseman and Congress parks. Whenever new construction goes on around there, it is inevitable that an article or two will pop up about the latest human remains they found while digging.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Yes, it is.
The blatant disrespect for the dead, paired with the disconcerting fact that bones lie below the dirt, have caused for a lot of ghost stories to be told about the parks. People have reported everything from seeing ghostly figures at night to feeling something holding them down to the earth as they rest on the grass on a sunny day.
Why are you resting on the grass in a place that used to be a graveyard?
I'm sure a lot of people don't actually know that, you know? That it's just a nice park and they're just there to chill, relax, and whatnot.
What if it's just like some long lost like member of their family that they accidentally stumbled by their grave and they're giving them a hug like, please don't leave me, I'm so lonely.
That's ridiculously depressing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I used to live in the Congress Park neighborhood as a kid and would experience things such as hearing footsteps in the attic and seeing glowing eyes watching me through my window almost every night. Could this have just been an overactive child's imagination? Probably, I'll never know, but my mom used to tell stories of similar discomfort in that house. The park itself is rather beautiful. You can Google Cheeseman Park, Denver, if you want to see it or learn more. Congress Park works out too, but Cheeseman is bigger and is usually referenced more. Thank you both so much for reading. I'll send more local stories in the future. I appreciate all your hard work and hope you have a wonderful night. Rika. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you sending. That's fucking crazy and super, super creepy. Like, I've heard of stuff like that happening in San Diego, and I'm sure it happens in a lot of places. But knowing that it also happens in Denver, Colorado, too, is kind of mind-blowing. So if we ever make our Stanley Hotel goal, I feel like we should probably stop by one of these parks as well.
We'll see if it's even manageable with the distances.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, that's some creepy shit. So thank you. I know you as Abe's Monster, and I can say that correctly. So thank you, Abe's Monster, who was in the chat while we read this. And, like, they got super excited, and everyone's like, oh, my God, it's your story. So it's really fun when you folks send a story and you watch live because you get to hear us read it, and you get to see people react to it. That was really good, too. So very much appreciate you sending that one in. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's I feel like a lot of parks are haunted because of that very reason. People just pave right over cemeteries.
If this is a common issue here, but not elsewhere. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a place like England, which is very small but's been around for a very long time, probably at some point just stopped paying attention to like the sites they were building on because they're like, if you pay attention to where we've buried people on this tiny island over the course of like 2,000 years or however much longer it's been like severely I shouldn't say severely, but definitely populated, it would just be like terrifying to think like everywhere is haunted, man. Like everywhere is haunted. So that's just crazy to think about.
I think it definitely has to do with land and what's actually available. And places like Japan that don't have a lot of land whatsoever are just like, we stack them on top of each other.
No.
They like cremate them, but then they put them on top of each other.
Yeah, they cremate your body and they have like a headstone for your whole family.
Yeah.
And they put a little bit of your ash underneath and they dispose of the rest of your ash.
Do they?
Yeah, that's what the tour guide told us.
They actually, I don't think they dispose of it.
That's what she said. She said they only put a little bit of the ash from your cremation like under your headstone. And then she said it's actually illegal in Japan to have your body buried anywhere. Yeah. And that like even in death, like Japanese people are courteous of their space.
Dispose of my family's
I think
ash.
It's more like you're dumping the ashes like in the ocean or someplace that was like meaningful to them.
Or just have like an urn.
You just put it in your barbecue and makes all your food taste delicious until you clean it the next time. So that's actually a plot from Married with Children. Anyone who knew that, you get 10 cool points. So just saying. All right, let's look over into stream chat and see what you wonder for. Holy shit.
Bloop, bloop.
See words on screen. What? Read them words.
What? I'm just thinking of that one Looney Tunes character. Which one does that thing with his tongue where he can't really talk?
Suffering Succotash, that guy? Porky Pig.
Porky Pig, yeah.
Thank you for making fun of my speech impediment. It's not really an impediment. I just am an idiot sometimes. I am exhausted. I am stressed. And I am only pushing through via coffee right now. So I apologize. You don't got anything over there?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on over here.
So Vivian says, and they got Bob. The demo dogs got Bob. That was some season 2 shit. That was very sad. Anna says, I'm getting glitches, but I thought it was my mobile data. I saw as this was ticking by, Anna was saying that they were going to disconnect because their mobile data was giving them shit, and then they got on the Wi-Fi at their salon. I was like, that's some dedication right there. Etsy says, oh my God, I choked on my water. I think it was about the David Harbour thing. Swampy Boy says David Harbour is bae. Etsley says also same. Hopper is hot.
So the problem with the character of Hopper is he's an alcoholic douchebag.
He is just
a great
really
dad.
Possessive.
Yes.
That's what was kind of creepy was how jealous he got. It wasn't even like charming how jealous he got of Joyce.
He treated her like shit.
It was like you're being a fucking asshole. But Joyce is so like matter of fact about shit. She was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I have 2 kids. Like, I won't put up with your shit if I don't want to, type of thing.
Yeah. But it's just, he's a really good dad. He just wants to take care of her. That's all he wants to do. But other aspects of his life, I'm not very.
He's a mess.
He's a mess.
He's a mess.
And I don't think I would want to be in a relationship with that.
Here's the thing about Hopper and why I love Hopper. It's because Hopper himself is a fuck up and a mess. And he's redeeming because he is so dedicated to protecting the people he loves. So that's why I don't want to give anything away, but that's why there's a scene where he talks to someone who's in a position of power, who's trying to intimidate him because they're in a position of power. And he's just like, if my kid is in danger or anyone I care about's in danger, regardless of the repercussions on my person, like, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. And I love that attitude, that like epic loyalty. I feel is like this giant redeeming feature, and it makes his character very rich, and that's why I absolutely love Hopper. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying I love him. It's a very big difference in that. I
appreciate his character. I like his character a lot. But Steve's my
Steve is so
favorite.
I'm fucking straight up team Steve. Steve can be with any chick or dude on that show, and I'll be like so happy for Steve because I fucking love Steve.
Let's see what Laura Ann says 100-degree Laura Ann says 100-degree weather and crazy thunderstorms. So wonderful. We definitely have 100-degree weather, but no thunderstorms or clouds in sight, and I'm melting.
It's so hot.
Hot.
Leo Chacha says there was a full moon last night. I guess people are getting a little bit of glitches over there on YouTube as well. Vivian, which is just going to take me so long to adjust to. Vivian says, when were you overwatching, Adam? I was watching Stage 3 Finals. That's when. It was Saturday, and then I didn't even get to watch Shanghai win 4-3, which is so fucking cool that Shanghai didn't win a game season 1. Season 2, they're the champions. I don't know any of them personally, and they switched their team roster out almost entirely. But like, that's just so cool. And it was on ESPN2. So anyone who was just like stumbling across it got to see like this team just redeem themselves in the most epic of ways. And like I said, it just kept fucking up the stream. So I'd have to turn the stream off and go back to it, and then it'll be 100% fine. So hopefully those things are going to sort themselves out.
I played Overwatch for hours yesterday. Thank you so much, Dre A, for subscribing.
Shout out to Dre. Thank you for subscribing. And you somehow came through when some other folks can't come through. So we're getting subscriptions, but not all the alerts are coming up. So we love every single one of you.
Yes.
I'm going to keep saying it.
I definitely played Overwatch so much yesterday because there's a new event. Not
Lucio
advertising,
Ball.
but Lucio Ball just started yesterday. But they also have this new event where each week they're doing this thing where if you win 9 games in competitive or quick play or something like that, you get skins for 3 different characters.
That's
so
awesome.
1 for each week. This first week was, what's his name? Soldier 76? Or no, Reaper. It was Reaper. So it was like an American, like red, white, and blue with stars and stuff themed skin for Reaper.
So now I know what I'm doing when we get done editing the show tonight is playing some Overwatch.
So.
She got to play Overwatch all night last night.
But yeah, I don't know.
Vivian says, question of the week, to lighten the mood from the puddle people of Stranger Things, what is your best trait of your personality?
My personality?
What is your best trait of your personality? I'd say it's your attentiveness.
I'm charming. Okay. I'm adorably charming. What about you?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Let me think on it while I read some of this chat. Akbar says, we don't have water, sad face. That's fucked up and sad, and I hope you get water. Vivian says, oof, can I get an F in the chat? Anna says to Vivian, loyalty. Shout out to Ricky M45 who just followed us over there on Twitch.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
you. Thank you for joining us.
Miranda said, alcoholic though? Okay, maybe he's not an alcoholic, but he definitely did not control himself.
He drinks too much.
He drank too much.
I don't know if he's an alcoholic,
well,
but like,
and then
when
the
you're
first,
drinking on duty, like, dude,
the
you're
first-
the fucking sheriff, man.
the first season, he wakes up out of being absolutely shit-faced, super hungover.
And when he's at the restaurant, he gets fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he causes a scene where it's like, I can imagine a friend of mine calling me and being like, you gotta come pick me up, man. I'm fucking hammered.
he's always a drunken mess, except for when he has to fight for what he wants.
Yeah. Well, when he
So,
wants to,
when
when
he
he has to
wants to
fight for the
protect
things he
his
cares about.
family, yeah.
Awkward says, I'm wandering around my homeland. I'm surrounded by seawater. Awkward says, we have coconut water to drink. Well, that's good, says Vivian. All right, scrolling through some more of this stuff.
Oh shit, T-Pain's in our stream.
No, you can't jump ship T-Pain.
There is an urn that can be buried to make a tree, and that's what I want to do.
I've seen those. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
That's how you get haunted forests.
Yep.
Anna says, my high school ex-boyfriend just sent me a Facebook message. If it was a good breakup, then, I mean, engage, unless, like, you don't think it's, like, worth the time. Otherwise, fuck him. Just ignore it.
Unless it was a bad reason why you broke up, where he's super violent or something.
Then ignore him.
Super douchey, yeah. Just, yeah, don't.
Falls into the ignore him category. Vivian said, the fuck? Swampy Boy says, send him a picture of an angry raccoon. That's hilarious.
Miranda said he had a reason to get hammered at the restaurant, though.
Yeah, but do you want to get
what about
hammered
the
and
first-
cause a scene
What
or
about the
just
first
leave?
season, though? What was he drinking about in the first season when he was just
Well, I mean, he
constantly
lost
drunk?
his family. Like, that's the whole thing is, like, he
'Cause
lost his family.
his daughter and all that
That's
stuff.
why he's
Spoilers.
so protective of Elle. I mean, spoilers
okay.
if you haven't seen episode, like, 1 of Stranger
Yeah,
Things. But that's why he's
okay.
so protective of Elle. But, like, getting shit-faced in a restaurant because you got stood up or something bad happened, like, that's just, like, not a good move. It's not a good sign for someone who has their shit together.
Let's see. Miranda says, I read about a place that turns your ashes into gemstones, which is what I want to be. That would be amazing.
T-Pain2713 has followed
Thank you
over
so
in
much for
Twitch.
following.
Appreciate the follow. Now jump back to YouTube, goddammit.
What?
What?
What's wrong with Twitch?
She's always in YouTube. She's
Oh.
one of my YouTubers. That's why I'm saying switch back.
Oh.
Swampy Boy says, I stand by what I said. Shut up, Robin. I like garbage, okay? In regards to Hopper. Don't tell Robin to shut up. But I totally understand. Akbar says, Vivian, I don't understand, but thanks, and you're welcome.
The Snark says, oh, dang, I need to play Overwatch. I need the skins. Yeah, it's so fun. There's a whole bunch of new characters, new characters to play, and I just wrecked face with Moira yesterday.
She was doing really good.
Just like, because they have deathmatch in arcade right now, and I was just like, first place. Adam was getting really annoyed.
It's not true. I wasn't getting annoyed at all. She was just like, are you getting annoyed? Are you getting annoyed? I'm like, no.
Because my sister and I were both playing side by side on the Xboxes.
But not together.
But not together, because you can't play deathmatch with your
I
friends.
may or may not have said when I come home, all I want to do is lay down on the couch and maybe play video games. And I came home and my spot on the couch was taken and someone else is playing video games on my Xbox. So I was just like, whatever, I'll go to bed.
Yeah, but so she was playing Junkrat because Junkrat's her main character. And she was just wrecking face with Junkrat. And I'm over here wrecking face with Moira.
Drunkrat. Otherwise known as Hopper. Burn.
Oh my shit, stop.
I love him though. Love him to fucking death.
Yeah, I like his character too. Okay.
Vivian says, all Elle had to do was keep the door open 3 inches. It's totally true. It's just a dick move. Like,
yeah, no, her relationship with Mike is
very
not
dysfunctional.
Healthy.
Yeah, not good.
Not healthy.
But I like the fact that Mike is knowingly dysfunctional because he's very protective of her because he doesn't want to lose her again. So don't want to get into any spoilers. I know some of you folks haven't watched it. You were saying something before I read Vivian.
It's your turn to read.
I get that. Are you done?
Yep.
Well, let me catch up on my shit then. There's a lot of talk about Stranger Things. Etsley says, Steve is okay. Scrolling.
Steve's my fave. He's
Swampy
so
Boys.
I love that outfit from season 3. Just love it.
Swampy Boy says,
I need to go to Scoops Ahoy.
We have to go to LA to go to Scoops Ahoy.
We have to go to LA to go to Scoops Ahoy because I have to go before the summer is over.
Swampy Boy says, Steve is the guy you marry. Hop is the guy you wake up in bed with after a really hard night. I think that's a pretty good, accurate description right there.
Good. That's a good description, I think.
It's hilarious. All right, what else do we have? Anna says, by choice or physically incapable for reasons outside of your control. I think that's in reference to Akbar, who says, I can't play online games. Anyone want to play Ark or Slime Rancher? Sad face. That sucks. Honestly, it's overrated. So
what is Ark?
Online games?
Oh.
Some games are fun. Like, I like Overwatch, but I even get mad at Overwatch because a lot of times, like, I want to play and have a good time, and I don't have a big enough group. And then, like, everyone wants to play DPS, and I get forced playing, like, a healer, and no one stays by, and everyone's just spamming, I need healing, and if we win, it's because I'm flying around like a fucking crazy person. I'm like, I would also like to play a DPS class, but everyone's a selfish asshole.
I'm usually always Orisa or Diva or some type of tank. And if we already have 2 tanks, then I'm like, I'll be Moira because she's my fave. So I don't know. It's just, I love Overwatch. I'll do whatever it takes to play.
It's a good game.
All right.
Etsley says, when I die, pack up my body and launch that sucker into space. Vivian says, I feel like I'm unstoppable all 3 seasons in 3 days. Come at me, bro. I fucking dare you. It's good. Swampy Boy says, did your fingers run away? Been there. They'll come back. Vivian says, but I do have some questions. Are they going to follow up on Callie? Kali. Is Callie the only other one? If there's an 11 and an 8, there must be 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and maybe a 0. Yeah, there's a lot of questions when it comes to it, and I'm fine that they opened up those doors and then like kind of didn't go through them. They got a lot of shit for that episode where Elle found some of the other experimental kids. Like, people hated that episode. That's why they shit all over season 2. So I was just like, let Elle develop her powers, and when you finally start getting away from always having like not a monster of the week but a monster of the season, like then you can start moving into like the governmental conspiracy and the other people that are out there, and maybe they can be the bad guys eventually. So you have to wait till they get a little bit older, though. I really think that they should take off like a year and come back when the kids are like full-blown teenagers. Like, Will is even taller than Winona Ryder at this point. The actor who plays Will is like super
he's like
tall.
a foot taller than her.
And I'm just like, damn, like that changed fucking quick. So I just am excited for the series and to see where it goes. So cool, fun stuff. Good talk. All right. I'm going to move on to my second one of the show. And this one's subject is Winchester Mystery House. And it starts out like this. My sister told me she wrote you guys a story of something that happened to one of our aunts when she was younger, and I got mad since I introduced her to y'all, and I've been listening for a year, and I suck. I said I would send a story ASAP, but I'm tight on time. In fact, I'm on my lunch break at the hospital where I work, so I'm making this as quick as possible. So I'm sending my quick experience at the Winchester Mystery House I had when I went 2 days ago. Here goes.
Wow.
First of all, I believe myself to be like a Lorraine Warren, in parentheses, from the movies, in a sense where I do believe in the supernatural, but I think most experiences can be explained, and I don't immediately believe an experience to be paranormal. First, I try to find an explanation, in parentheses, if I have the interest enough or energy, and then I think, oh yeah, it could have been something paranormal, whatever, moving on with my life.
I do the same thing where it's like, could have been ghosts, could have been, I don't know, anything, and I'm just going to go back and do my thing because I don't want to dwell on the fact that it could be ghosts.
I think just the best way to approach something is try and find the rational explanation first, because jumping to conclusions is just not something that's going to be great, because that will start to persist in like the way you analyze a lot of things.
I hear assuming makes an ass out of you
and Ming.
Me. Oh, and Ming. That's racist.
Who's Ming?
It's because I'm Asian, isn't it?
Wow, that's messed up.
Anyway, no, yeah, and me being the ghost makes an ass out of you and the ghost said ghost. So don't assume.
Wow, cool. That was a long walk for a silly joke.
I don't.
All right, I'm leaving that in.
My jokes are dry. Okay.
So, my parents came to visit in Northern California. We're from San Diego, but I'm doing an internship at a hospital in NorCal. They have always wanted to go to the Winchester Mystery House, so they decided we should all go. Even though I wanted to go with you guys, It just wouldn't have worked out because of my schedule. It's a shame, but I'm sure we will have events in the future that you will hopefully be able to attend.
Yeah, the people at the tour place anyway probably would have been like, holy crap, this is a huge group if a whole bunch of other people had come.
I was hoping to have that problem.
Well, it worked out because we didn't have a big group, we were able to change times.
Yeah, shift around the times so that everyone could actually match up.
Out.
It goes on to say, so we went the day after Labor Day, so it was pretty empty seeing as everyone...
Did you wear white?
Probably not, because it was after Labor Day. So it was pretty empty seeing as everyone wanted to go on Labor Day. So we walk in, and near the gift shop, there's a bathroom by the outside patio area. My mom and I walk in, and she has this weird habit of checking to see if anyone is in the bathroom with us. She does that by hunching down to look for feet. However, it wasn't necessary because all the stalls were wide open. I'm not saying that's paranoid. I'm just wondering, does your mom talk a lot of shit? Because sometimes it's a really good thing to check and see if there's anyone in that bathroom. If you ever seen Trading Places, like you don't want to reveal your secret, like nefarious plan if the person's in the bathroom with you. Because that stuff happens in movies and television all the time.
I just think that's weird.
It's a little bit weird.
It's a little strange, but there must be a reason she does it.
It might be a privacy thing. Like some people are not comfortable with like letting her rip, if you know what I mean.
Well,
like when there's other people in the bathroom.
I've gone to the bathroom next to my best friend before, and it was a step in our friendship that
like in stalls next to each other?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just normal stuff. Like me and my friends called it battle shits.
Oh,
like if you're in the stall next to each other, like fire away. Like that's just how it goes. I met a guy who at work, I told him like when I go to the restroom, like I try and do the courtesy flush, like if it's gonna not be, pleasant. And that guy was like, I don't believe in the courtesy flush. Like, that's my orchestra. That is my symphony. Like, you're just going to get a treat. I was like,
magnum opus or whatever.
I was like, that is disgusting. However, I'm adopting this philosophy immediately.
God.
So, and there was some guy in my same job who used to go in there and play songs really loud so you could hear music blaring from the bathroom because they were so, like, self-conscious about the noises their ass was about to produce. We called him, like, DJ Potty because it was, like, every time this person went to the bathroom, you just hear music blaring from it. And it was just like, your shits are not that loud, man. Like, no one cares. Like, now that you play music, we all know when you're in the bathroom. That's even worse.
I think that's cute.
All right. We're done talking about bathroom habits. Let's jump back into this email. We could see into all of them except for the very last stall, in parentheses, the handicap stall, because it is so large that we can't see into it. She goes into the handicap stall, and I go into the very first stall because that's always my stall of choice. I read somewhere that it's usually the cleanest one because it's picked the least. That's interesting. Anyway, go ahead.
I always pick it.
Do you always pick the first one?
I always pick the first one, unless it is filled with shit, and then I have to find a different one.
Well, being a dude, I don't know if this is any different with the female bathrooms, but I feel like guys are a little bit grosser. I'm not saying that in a sexist way. I'm just saying I've gone into a bathroom before, and every stall has been empty, and every stall has been filled with a massive shit that someone was not responsible enough to flush, because guys are disgusting morons, and I'm like, cool, I'll hold it and find another fucking bathroom because this is just gross. So I pick the first available clean stall. That's what I go with.
All right.
This has become a weird podcast.
It's
a weird episode. This episode's all about shit and public restrooms. So anyway, is what it says. She goes into the very last stall. I go to the very first one. There's probably like 4 stalls between us. Then I hear her sneeze, and I'm just, going. And as soon as I was done, I hear in a very polite voice, "Bless you." And I thought to myself, wow, that lady was very quiet. I didn't hear her open the door to the bathroom or close the stall door behind her. I could tell,
creepy. Oh,
though
that's
to
creepy.
myself, wow, oh, I could tell she was in between us in one of the 4 stalls. Then my second thought is, sheesh, why is my mom not saying thank you? How rude. I almost said thank you for my mom, but then realized how weird that would be. Imagine saying bless you to someone in the bathroom you heard sneezed in one of the stalls and receiving a thank you from the polar end of the bathroom. So I refrained from saying thanks for my mom. Then I finally hear my mom say thank you. It really wasn't that long. It probably took her like 10 seconds to say thank you. So I come out of the bathroom right before my mom. As I'm washing my hands, I realize that nobody is in any of the stalls. I didn't realize this immediately, only after my mom and I were small talking as we washed our hands. That's when I asked her, hey mom, wasn't there someone in here with us? And she said there wasn't, but after going back and forth a bit, arguing that there was, she said, I specifically remember checking for someone in the stalls, and they were all wide open, which I can attest to, and I could see clearly we were the only ones in this bathroom. So I then retaliated, ready to win the argument. Oh yeah? Then who said bless you when you sneezed? To which she replied, you, silly. Holy shit. That's when I was like, what? No, it wasn't. She swears it was my voice, and we were both accusing each other of trying to scare the other. I don't actually believe it was my mom because first, it didn't sound like her, and second, she's not a jokester like that. That's more like my dad's humor, and third, she doesn't speak much English, so it doesn't make sense. She would say bless you to herself and then thank herself even if she did. This is some really good speculation here.
That's just so crazy.
Her accent is so thick that I would have been able to tell it was her even if she was faking the voice. She still believes it was me, but I have only myself as my alibi because I know it was not. Anyway, not that creepy of a story, but kind of fun nonetheless.
I think that's creepy.
It's a really good story.
Especially after we've covered like bathroom demons.
Yeah. This is just a really polite bathroom ghost. This is Moaning Myrtle. If she didn't moan all the time, it was just polite.
Moaning Myrtle's kind of a bitch.
This is polite Myrtle. I think maybe someone came in parentheses, very quietly and went into one of the stalls between us and decided, oh, you know what? I don't need to pee anymore. And just said, bless you, to be polite to my mom, and then very quietly walked out again. I don't know. You decide. And you know what? That's going to get posed to all the listeners because that's the end of the Homegrown Horror. So I wonder what you folks think happened. I think it was something similar to that, or maybe like the stalls were connected, and I shouldn't say stalls. The bathroom was like side by side with like the men's room, and she said her dad's a prankster, and maybe it was like bless you to try and freak them out.
Yeah, but
I would do that.
But the thing is, if I were a guy, I wouldn't, in a public place, I wouldn't stick my head into the women's restroom.
I'm not saying stick your head in. I'm just saying like if the bathrooms were side by side, like the walls were up against each other and he could hear the sneeze. Because sometimes you can hear like toilets flush and noises come from another bathroom that's like next to it.
Yep.
Because plumbing is usually run like very close to each other.
Yeah.
That he might have just like said something loudly in his bathroom that barely carried through to the other bathroom.
I can
or
see
it
that.
was a ghost, or it was the ghost of, I think it's Sarah Winchester, who was just like, oh, you need a bless you. Here's a bless you for you. So who knows? But that's a really good story.
Yeah, it is
Appreciate
a really
it.
good story.
And we got to talk about shit a whole bunch. And
Oh
that's
my
just
God,
like the most
stop.
fun thing in the world. So good stuff. Let's go over to Stream Chat, see what you folks had to say.
So the Snark says, I never talk in the bathroom. Talking makes me uncomfortable.
Agreed.
It's a survival mechanism.
I thought the rule of thumb was you don't talk in the bathroom. And I go
Girls
to the
talk all the
restroom
time.
and like these dudes are just chatting it up and like from a stall to a urinal, like about what they did in the weekend. Like one of them's going to order a jersey. Do you want me to order one, bro? What are you, an XL? And I'm just like sitting there like, can I just take a shit without having to listen to anyone talk? Like, shut up, man. It's so annoying.
I thought people actually talk a bunch in the bath.
Maybe guy rules and girl rules are different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Girls talk a lot. I mean, I know my sister and I definitely talk. If one or the other is waiting outside the stall, waiting for the other to be done, we definitely talk. Laura Ann says, you guys should do an East Coast meetup sometime, like Philly or New York City. I'd totally go. We did New York City this past year. Not for a meetup.
We just went.
We just went. And it was kind of pricey.
Yeah, here's the things about doing East Coast meetups. We're on the West Coast, and that costs money.
So it's hard for us to really travel very much.
Yeah, we're going to try and arrange some stuff where it's like only traveling via car. So hopefully some Vegas stuff, maybe some LA stuff. We did a Disneyland
Northern
thing.
Nevada stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But if we are able to like make it to the East Coast, we will definitely do some meetup stuff for sure.
Valley Girl says they keep poopery in our private bathrooms. That's incredible.
That's smart.
In our bathrooms, the employees they kind of supply any of the smelling things. So one of my coworkers put like Bath and Body Works spray in there, so you can spray after you go.
That's nice.
Uh,
Akbar says, whenever a blue moon shines and I can play online, I will always be healer or support. It's because you're a good person. Just saying.
a lot of people will love playing Mercy. They just enjoy
Because
it.
she's such a good healer. I hate her resurrection thing, though. Like, you can target the spirit you want to resurrect and hit the button for it, and you just keep fucking hitting it, and it's like, what the hell is taking so long?
I liked when they changed that, because she used to just res all the time.
That was her ultimate, was to res everyone that was dead.
Yeah.
And, like, I like the fact that she can res people one at a time and it has a large cooldown, but it just doesn't work. Like, I just stand there, like, trying to do it over and over, like, come back to life, you son of a bitch.
You gotta hold it.
I do hold it. All right.
Miranda says, I was in the bathroom with a woman in the next stall who started crying out, help me, Jesus.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
My God.
Vivian says, I also find it funny how it says, like, months and years are passing at a time, but it always says 1984. That's funny. That's some Stranger Things stuff still. Akbar says, I will sponsor your guys' asses to the Philippines so you can sleep in a hut and get licked by an Aswang. Nah, dog, I'm good. I think I'll stay in the U.S. I would like to go to the Philippines, though, just not to get licked by an Aswang. Nat Bauer says, hey, guys.
Hey.
What up, Nat? Thank you for joining us. Jackie Chan says, hi, it's your boy. Thank you for joining us, Jackie Chan.
Laura Ann says, Eastern State Penitentiary is supposed to be super haunted. Did we cover
Sounds
one?
really familiar.
We might have. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think we might have heard about it, but haven't covered it yet.
Yeah.
Vivian says, my motto, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again. Fool me a third time. Well, the second time didn't really count because I was tired. It's pretty good.
The scriptery says, if your bum is open, your mouth should be closed.
Yeah, dude. That is a good rule, man. You don't want to decompress. Just saying.
Oh,
Nat
man.
says, what did I walk into? It was a story about a bathroom ghost, which you clearly have put together by now. And we were just like speculating on bathroom rules and like appropriate behavior. Leo Chacha says, no. I only have one friend that I have that level of comfort. That's so goddamn funny. Akbar says, I miss Japan's musical toilets.
I miss their
Same.
toilets. Their toilets were the best.
No matter where you were, their toilets were the best.
No, because in Tokyo Station, if you're taking the Shinkansen from Tokyo Station to the airport, the bathrooms or the restrooms that are there on the track that
directly on the track for you to use.
In the waiting area by the track where you're gonna get onto the Shinkansen to get to the airport, they smell like shit because they're just like there for all the tourists, and there was no bidet, there was no nothing. It was horrifying, and I'm like,
the men's bathroom was nice for me.
Never again. Never.
All the other
again.
bathrooms in Japan were glorious. Vivian said, it's the potty pod. And that says, LMAO, good one. Etsley says, my first time going into a men's bathroom after I came out was horrifying. LMFAO. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, it's just a different fucking world. Akbar says, in the school I deal with, the middle school toilet is always a mess, but the high school toilet is always so clean. That's good to know that you have high schoolers that can, like, take care of themselves.
Well, yeah, because they're starting to like have,
Be a fucking grown up.
They're
dude.
getting
like,
it but they're going into puberty.
Flush your toilet, for Christ's sake. I should never have to say something like that to a grown ass man. Like,
I don't know. I'm really glad that your high school has responsible people.
Vivian says, Moaning Myrtle's a perv. Remember that scene when Harry was taking a bath and Moaning Myrtle
Yeah,
was like trying to
she's a
slide into his
creeper.
DMs? I do remember that. It was
Like,
creepy.
she is one of the creepiest characters in the Harry Potter universe because she's just all about that life.
She is. Akbar says, I have the same exact shirt as Adam, but mine is probably a knockoff. I got this from Target for like $6, so I'm pretty sure it's a knockoff too. Just an officially licensed knockoff.
T-Pain says, if I'm super drunk, I'll talk to anyone. Sober, it's a no-go. I talk to...
Liquid courage.
I kind of talk to random people generally. Like when we go to the grocery store, we went to Walmart yesterday, and this family was holding up the entire aisle. And so I just looked at her and was
Move,
just like,
bitch.
no. I was just like, excuse us. And she was like, oh, sorry. I was like, you're all good. And sometimes I'm like, let's just make this super awkward if we keep like running into each other over and over and over again.
I always say,
Or-
like, are you stalking me?
Yeah.
And they're like, don't fucking talk to me, creep.
If I see the same person in the grocery store, it's like, oh, hey again, long time no see.
You gotta make it really awkward. Like, hey, where'd you get those Cheetos? Like,
Aisle 3,
just stare at them. Like, tell me where you got this fucking Cheetos.
Yeah, no, I think I make people awkward at the grocery store.
Leo Chacha says, I hate hearing someone in a public bathroom on a toilet talking on their cell phone. Like, I don't want to talk to someone who's pooping or peeing. I can't imagine that anyone does. So, like, hearing someone, I just want to be like, he's shitting right now. So that they can have an argument about the fact that you would call them while you're pooping.
Dre A says Arizona Adventures, I hope.
Arizona could be cool. It's pretty close by.
The Snark says Mercy's res cast time is so long.
It's true, man. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's a very powerful ability, so I understand it. Minnie Maria says, did they look up at all when they finished using the restroom? When I was in elementary school, there was this girl that would stand on the toilet and look over into the next stalls. Maybe that's what it was. Though, in that case, I would far prefer a ghost over a creepy human
because
anytime.
That story that you read, all the doors were open.
Yeah, they checked all the stalls to see if anyone was there before they went, because the mom is kind of weird and checks to see if anyone's in the bathroom before she goes.
Miranda says, y'all should do a story about orang pendek. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
we'll
let
have
us
to
know.
Look into it.
Give us more info.
Ew, Valley Grill says, people at my middle school used to pee in soap dispensers. Gross.
It's disgusting.
Blech.
Anna says, in any bathroom, everyone should wash their hands. You want typhoid? Because that's how you get typhoid. Also, hashtag don't eat ass. I put that last part in there.
Oh my god.
Akbar says, yes, but employees must wash hands. I fucking have worked with people who don't wash their hands before, and it's the most disgusting thing. They just walk out of the bathroom after taking a shit.
Like that episode of
Seinfeld?
No.
Or every
Grey's
show
Anatomy.
Ever. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. The Snark says, we lived with a roommate that forgot to flush overnight. I used to wake up in the morning with pee in the toilet. That is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
When I called him out, he just said he didn't want to wake us. I don't even give a fuck.
That's kind of nice, though.
No, when I
No, it's not. Fuck your opinion. I hate you.
When I stay at friends' houses, I flush. I'm not going to leave that shit in there. Like, no.
I open a window and pee out of it.
Ew.
I don't want to worry about waking anyone
But I
up.
don't wake up in the middle of the night anyway, so...
She really doesn't. She sleeps through like a rock.
I sleep through the night. I don't get up to go to the restroom. Adam goes like twice a night. It's crazy. Let's see.
That's like once a night. It depends on how much sleep I'm going to get. Because I drink a lot. I drink a lot of water like all the time. Akbar says, I see one sign telling everyone to wash hands, but I see 3 for every single employee in a building. It's very true, man. Like, employees have to wash their hands, because if you're going to cause a health hazard and it comes back on your like employer, like, they're fucked.
At work, they make fun signs that tell you to wash your hands. Because we handle poop on a daily basis. I work at a poop plant. So they're just like, you guys gotta fucking wash your hands. But they're all cute signs. They're just, they try to make you laugh, but also wash your hands.
Right, I'm gonna skip down for a little bit because it's a lot of poop conversation and people being like, fucking gross.
Okay, anyway, can I just read, or are you not?
I'm still going through my stuff. Nat says, do you guys ever light up that scary-ish sign? We don't, because it like the camera's white balance gets all fucked up, and like we can turn it on, we just don't because it changes everything.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? Vivian says, I call this tinkle talking. It's pretty funny. And
it nasty.
And it nasty. There's so much on here. All right, I'm at the bottom.
All right.
Leo Chacha says, I do a lot of road tripping, and believe me, I've heard many people chatting and pooping. Akbar says, my brother thought a man in a store with someone traveling with us looked into the stranger's cart and yells, oh my god, you have ramen. That's hilarious. Then he tried playing it off like he meant to freak that stranger out, but I know he hates being weird in public, and being weird in public is my shtick. That is fucking hilarious. And then Tinkle Talking Crap Communication. Etsley says, wait, have you all done an episode on the haunted orphanage here in Vegas? We have not.
No, you should
didn't know that
send
was a
us
thing.
some information on that, because I've never heard of that.
And now I am at the bottom of my chat. So let me mark it, and you can give us a wonderful transition.
The Snark says, so Robin, do your work bathroom toilets just go straight down into a tank? No.
That's funny.
But they do, if you like put paper towels in there, they overflow like right outside the building. It's kind of annoying. So they always say, please don't put shit that doesn't belong in the toilet because it will back up and cause a problem.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay, let's move on to emails now about toilets.
Alrighty.
Hopefully.
So this is my last email for the night, and it's from Andrea, and it's titled Ouija boards.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Let me get my why though button ready.
No, it's Ouija boards, not SpaghettiOs.
I don't get that. Like, I think you're just trying to make like a quick pun, but I'm just like baffled. Like, why are you correcting me right now?
Because you said, SpaghettiOs. And I'm just like, no, we're talking about Ouija boards, not SpaghettiOs.
I just don't think like they match. Like, you could literally
You don't match, fuck you.
You could say that joke about literally anything. Shout out to Wild Callie Wash, who just subscribed for the 9th month using Amazon Twitch Prime, the combination. Thank you. We now know that resubs are working again because they were actually going through, but the alerts weren't working. I gotta mark this. We gotta do the whole intro again. I'll just keep my fucking mouth shut and not make any jokes so that you can tell me like, nah, your joke is stupid. I am going to get the emote ready for why, though, because if it's a Ouija board, someone's about to do some dumb shit. All right, give us another intro. I apologize.
This is going to be my final email for tonight. It's from Andrea, and it's titled Ouija boards. So, I'm new to podcasts, just started catching up on yours and loving it.
Oh, thank you.
I had to send this in. According to my mom, there are 2 stories as to why we moved when I was 5 years old. We lived in a little house that was a wedding gift from my dad's parents. Fancy.
That's a nice wedding gift.
My mom had gotten pregnant and the house didn't have another bedroom. They bought a big Victorian house that would fit the new family. Now, the alternate story is that her friend had played with a Ouija board and, quote unquote, invited any spirits in. My mother told me the stories. So, waking up to a man standing over the bed with a knife, the smell of cat pee on her mattress that started at the very end of the bed but gradually spread up the bed until her whole bed smelled terrible.
That's gross and terrifying.
She had a Siamese cat, but he'd never peed on the bed before. She said things got so bad she didn't want to be in the house at all. That's crazy.
Okay, what asshole friend would use a Ouija board at someone else's house and invite all the spirits in? Like, that is a dick move, man.
They're like, it's not my house, do what I want. You know what I mean? I don't have to take the ghosts home with me. They live with you now.
I'm leaving the Ouija board too, so have fun.
The fun thing is I remember that house as nice and happy. The house we moved to was very old, and I had 2 experiences there that told me the house had presences, but they weren't really scary. One was definitely the ghost of my cat, who died tragically at only 4 years old. Oh, such a baby. I watched his shadow move impossibly along some walls into my closet where the light didn't match the shadows, or was the same path he'd run when he was alive. The light wouldn't have cast shadows on those walls, and I just knew it was him. The other incident was a ghost I called David. I don't know why I called him that, but after my door got broken, my mom put a simple hook and eye to keep the door closed while I was inside. David opened my door while I had it hooked closed. I watched the hook lift, hesitate, then fall.
That's creepy as shit.
That's creepy because that's just something that you can't say was just something blowing or...
Oh, yeah, just a draft or maybe like a little earthquake. Like, no, that was straight up someone like channeling their Swayze, like getting through the unlocking of the door.
He took a wallet of mine, then eventually returned it with extra money inside. I had one coat that every summer would have money in the pocket every winter.
Where the fuck do you find these ghosts?
I want a ghost.
Send David to my fucking house, man.
It's like he's paying rent.
It's 111 degrees outside. I could use the savings on my cooling bill and then some extra money in my pocket.
I'd check the pockets when I put it away for the summer, but when I took it out for fall or winter, there would be $5 in the pocket. Now, I would have suspected my parents, but they weren't the type to give you money like that. If my parents had found money in my pocket, they'd keep it. Bonus for them. My parents are the same way. It's cool.
It's funny.
I was never afraid of David. I felt like he liked me and wanted me to be happy. The ghost of my cat, I always felt like he was there now to keep David company. That's kind of sweet. He'd always do silly things like make noise but try to look innocent when I turned the light on to see what the noise was. Once he died because of feline leukemia, I knew he was there for David. He was still looking after me, but he was David's companion now.
It's a really nice way to think of it.
Yeah, it's a nice way to think of it. That your cat's not alone, and this spirit that's supposedly giving you boatloads of cash is also not alone. The house had been built 100 years earlier, and I still have a key that belonged to an old cabinet that was gone long before we moved in. I keep it as a good luck charm with my other keys. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Mom also told me about a house she used to pass when she went horseback riding as a teenager. It was abandoned, and the upper floor had no actual floor. She said the horse wouldn't go near the house. She told me that seeing a green light that traveled around the upper... She told me about seeing a green light that traveled around the upper windows, despite there being no floor to walk on. the horse just would not go near the house.
I think animals were. I don't know if animals can sense spirits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do know that if you see something creepy and an animal sees something creepy, they're like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm not dealing with that shit." Except our dog, who's like, "I'm chasing that thing down."
Which
like,
dog?
Yui. Yui sees a shadow on a wall. She's like, "Is there a shadow?" And she just runs up and puts her nose on that wall. Meanwhile, I think in most cases, like animals, like if they see something creepy, like whine and just like exit the room.
Yeah.
That's when you know like something really bad is happening. I feel like our corgi would just be like, "Something bad," and just like run over to it and just be like super happy, wagging her tail like, "You're about to die."
She had to get off the horse and drag it past the house by the bridle, and it would resist the whole time. You have to think this house, or not this house, I mean, the house probably weighs a ton too, but this horse weighs a lot, and she's pulling this giant creature.
Right.
I had forgotten how big horses were because the last time I'd rode one, the last time I was on one was when I was
Way
10
to circumvent that.
or 13 or something.
That was genius. I'm so impressed with you right now.
So the last time I'd ridden one was when I was the last time I was on a horse was when I was younger, like preteen age, and I had forgotten how big they were until we went riding last year or something like that, and I didn't realize these creatures are huge.
Yeah.
They are taller than you.
Yeah, they're big.
They're insanely big. And just imagine having to pull that giant horse in front of this house that's just resisting you the entire time.
I know I talk about this book series a lot. It's one thing I really like about Wheel of Time is like everyone has like a connection to their mount, their horse, and they all have like names for them, and they tell you the various different like types of horses and shapes and sizes, and like it like reminds me of like my connections with my pets, because these people didn't have pets for recreation. They had something that was a means of transportation that's also an animal that's enormous that like has like this bond with them. So some of the things that I cried about when I read that series, like characters died that were beloved, and I was like, oh, that sucks. One of the horses died. I fucking bawled my eyes out while I was reading that part. It is the sad, like I know the Snarked right now is in the Twitch chat, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, like
Wait,
that part is so fucking sad.
So you cry at that, but you don't cry at that scene in the Neverending Story?
Never seen it.
We've gotten to that scene before, and then you just didn't want to
The
watch.
swamp scene?
Yes.
That horse is fine. It just disappeared, okay? That's all I'm saying. You gotta tell yourself some shit to get through. Plus, I was just like, this movie's stupid.
You're stupid.
I was saying it just to annoy you. We were gonna turn it off, and you're like, let's watch like a third of the Neverending Story. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that we're not supposed to end this story via the name, but who knows?
I hate you. Also, the other day, my sister and I literally did the whole Bastion say my name thing, like super randomly. We always do that, and it's just so funny. Okay, anyway, so once they were beyond the house, it was fine. She heard creepy noises and saw lights every time she went near the house. It was on the way between her home and the town, but she learned to go the long way to avoid it. Mom has a lot of creepy stories, but she doesn't like to talk about them, especially about the house that I grew up in before I was 5. That's all I remember. I never found the houses we lived in super scary, although I got kind of creeped out in the old Victorian ones sometimes. I still am afraid of the dark, which I hate. I occasionally see ghosts, but it's like I see them when they don't intend me to.
Wow.
I just see someone, look again, and they're gone, although I can describe them in detail. I figure I'm not sensitive, but I get peaks when they aren't expecting it. I hope you enjoyed that. Writing you on the phone leaves me sure I'm I hope you enjoyed that. Writing you on my phone leaves me sure I'm incomprehensible. Sorry about that.
Shout out to Spooky Mom for editing all of these.
I was kind of less than sober when I sent my stories. I hope I mentioned how much I enjoy the podcast. You guys are super fun to listen to. I'm happy to have you share my stories. They aren't crazy scary, but they are what I was told / experienced. But I forgot to mention my hubby. He's my true love / soulmate. That's so romantic. In every way, I'm a lucky, lucky girl. Anyway, he and I both saw the ghosts of our cats. His has a glow white sorry, my throat did a froggy thing. His has a glow white blob at night, while mine has a daytime shadow. It's one of several weird things he and I share that were opposite but the same. Love you guys. Thank you so much for a fun podcast. Neither of you have annoying voices, trust me. Andrea, Shade Siren, Wiley. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's always nice to hear our voices aren't annoying, because especially me, when I edit it, just about every time I hear myself talk, I like hate everything about my voice and myself. So.
And Even my coworker was like, "Man, the girl on that podcast's voice is annoying."
Wow.
And
That's so
I was,
shitty, dude.
No, but it was just super funny because I was like, "That's me," and she's like, "Oh my god."
Oh, wow.
It was funny.
You can say it's not shitty because it's funny. It's still shitty, just saying. But it is funny. Thank you so much for sending that in, Shade Siren. We sincerely appreciate
thank you so much.
All right, let's look over into stream chat and see what you folks had to say. There's a lot of stuff scrolling past. I just want to point out there are a lot of fucking horses in Wheel of Time, so don't jump to jump to conclusions that you know which one I'm talking about, because you don't. You probably haven't. If you've only read book 1, you don't know what I'm talking about. So just saying.
All right. So Laura Ann says, "I love your comeback, Robin. You don't match. Fuck you."
It just didn't make any sense. Like, this joke doesn't connect to anything at all and can be used at any point.
You know what?
What?
Zip it.
Whatever, dude.
Ba.
It's like fucking when a little kid tells you a joke. It's like the punchline doesn't make any sense, the plot doesn't make any sense, but they laugh. And if you're like, I don't know, I don't get it, like, you suck, and they run away. Like, that's just what I deal with it all the time.
I just can't run away. I wish I could.
Me too. Holy shit.
That's so mean.
Oh, when you say it, it's not fucking mean. But when I say it, all of a sudden, it's
I thought you were saying you wish I could run away.
Oh, no. I just said me too. Like, I wish I could run away. You can run away easier. You're on the outside. All right. Let's read some stream chat instead of bickering like an old married couple.
The Snark says, "OMG, I want a money coat."
No
Heck
shit,
yeah, I want
right?
a money coat. What if that coat, the pocket is like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that pocket just leads to another dimension, and every time they put their hand in it, money appears.
That would be super nice,
That'd
but that
be
dimension's going to be
freaking
pissed
sweet.
you keep robbing them.
Oh my god.
Akbar gave another name for our poopy podcast, Diarrhea Disclosure. Oh, no, Diarrhea Discourse. That's still pretty good.
Luna Bin says, "Hey, spooky friends, I made it. Thank you for joining us." Adam still has one more story for the night.
One more. Akbar says, "Here's an idea for a sign at your work, Robin. Wash your mitts because we work with shits." That one's pretty good. You didn't like that? You probably weren't paying any attention.
What?
Akbar says, "Here's an idea for the place you work, Robin. Wash your mitts because we work with shits."
Oh my goodness. The Snark says, "I didn't cry for Dobby, Dumbledore, or Snape, but that horse."
Oh, it's so sad, dude. It's so sad.
What, Dobby, Dumbledore, and
No,
Snape?
that horse. It's just like so sad. I don't want to give anything away.
Miranda
But
asks,
it's so
"How can you
sad.
not cry for Dobby?" And the Snark says, "My heart is made of black venom."
That's hilarious.
Valley Girl says she only cried for Dobby. I mean, when that happened, I was shell shocked, but I did not cry. I didn't cry for anyone in the Harry. No, Sirius Black.
Sirius Black gets me because
Yes.
that's Harry's only family.
Yep.
Every time I watch that, I'm just like emotionally wrecked by it.
Yes.
I will say I saw almost all the movies in theaters except for like the first 2. And I didn't read any of the books, and I wouldn't want my friends to spoil anything for me, so I didn't know Dobby was going to die. And apparently everyone was waiting for it to happen. And so when it happened, everyone was crying, and my friend's girlfriend at the time was like, okay, what's a nice way to put this? She was very dramatic, like very over the top, and it's almost like she wanted everyone in the theater to know she was like sad. So she was like wailing. And so I was just fucking laughing because she was so over the top about it. I was just like, dude, like, no, like, you are so putting it on right now for this crowd of people who are like trying to have an emotional moment with this character they love, but you're fucking ruining it because you're so greedy with this grief that's totally fucking fake. So of course I just laughed, and then afterwards they're like, "How can you laugh at that scene?" I was like, I was laughing at your stupid fucking girlfriend acting like she just watched her whole family get murdered in front of her, even though it was just like a goddamn character that she knew was about to die. And like I brought it up later, she was like, "It was just so shocking. Like I knew it was coming, but I just couldn't take it."
T-Pain.
You're looking at me with a lot of weird eyes. You want to just describe what you're thinking behind those eyes?
No, I'll tell you later.
Oh, God.
T-Pain says Marley and Me. That, yes, I could see that being sad. Laura Ann says, "I get so upset when animals die in movies and TV. People not so much." Is that bad? No, it just means you can't create those connections with the fake characters that you're watching.
It's not bad. Greatest Alive 29 says, "The only place to use a Ouija board is at someone else's house." That is pretty true. Vivian says, "Adam, in case you haven't noticed, some people suck." So I was saying, who would do that at someone else's house? That's like the only explanation you can really come up with on that one.
The Snark says, "Can you imagine seeing a ghost while it's changing and it just walked up all angry, slams a spiritual door, and disappears?"
It's like, this is private. Fuck off.
Lunabin says, I once saw a ghost chef at a restaurant where I used to work. My manager saw the same guy too. He was wearing an apron and walking into the basement/dry storage. We both went to look and he was gone.
Basements, man.
Lunabin also cried over Sirius. And when I saw Tonks and Lupin together, oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Akbar says,
that one is sad.
Adam, those disapproving head shakes kind of hurt me. What did I do wrong? No, I shake my head when just bizarre shit is happening. And then all of a sudden it's like, and the ghost, it's like, I felt like it was a little bit complaining. Like, there's a ghost. It's not that bad. It gives me money. How is that email not? I have the coolest fucking ghost on the planet that slips me 20s. Like, that's the coolest shit I've ever heard.
No. It slips $5 bills. Get your shit straight.
Fives, whatever, dude. It's money. Jackie Chan says, your boy's mom came home early. Well, time to take her out, and I'll catch up later next time. Later, ghoul friends.
Laura Ann, the Snark, Miranda, A's Monster, they all cried over Hedwig. I cry because I do it every time at the end of Mary Poppins 2.
Shout out to Eric W1 who just subscribed with
so
Amazon
much.
Prime, Twitch Prime, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
thank you so much. We appreciate you.
The end of Mary Poppins, the new one, the song is just so hopeful and happy and uplifting. And after everything the family goes through, it just makes me cry, and I can't help it. It's so cheesy, but it's my jam.
I will say with Mary Poppins, when we saw it in the theater, I've mentioned this I think once before in the podcast, but I was like knee deep in unemployment. We had a lot of stuff happening at the time that I was very hopeful for, and like everything within like 3 days systematically got shot down, and I just felt like nothing was gonna work out. And I didn't even want to go see Mary Poppins. We got taken, everyone else wanted to go see it. I went to see it. I enjoyed it immensely, and it's weird because I watched Mary Poppins a lot as a kid, you know what I mean? And then I didn't want to go see this fucking movie as a grown-ass man. I did. I enjoyed it. And it was like Mary Poppins had kind of come back into my life to tell me everything's going to be okay, because that's kind of like the plot of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then left. And when I left there, I was like, I feel much better now. Like, I sincerely did. So I was like, holy shit, like, that movie affected me. Like, I really needed to go see that movie. So, like, when I watch that movie for the rest of my life, I will always think of that. Like, that came at just the right time for me. So I understand you get emotional for like the hopeful song, but like I get emotional for like the sad songs, because I was like sitting in the theater like, just make the most of it, like you're in a theater surrounded by kids, and then like the guy starts singing about like Since You've Gone Away, and I was just like sitting there like, fuck, I'm gonna cry in this fucking theater surrounded by children like a baby. Like, hold your shit together, Diaz. Like, I was just pep talking myself that entire movie.
Let's see. The Snark says, I cried for 30 minutes in the last book of the Dark Tower series. Ludabit says, I sobbed as a kid watching the Pokemon movie when Pikachu and the other Pikachu has to slap each other. Oh, stop. Don't even. Oh,
Greatest
my gosh.
Alive 29 says, the only reason I can't get a cat or dog, if I see my cat staring at something that's not there, I can't live there anymore. Totally understand that. I got yelled at for spoilers by Anna. And Leo Chacha says, Adam, shut up. I'm telling you, you guys don't need to worry. You're going to get to a point in those books where there's so many characters, you're going to be like, kill some of these fuckers off so I can keep track. And you won't be disappointed.
Oh, I'm just thinking about that Pokemon movie now.
Oh,
and
God.
the Pikachu
You
slapping
affected
each
Robin's
other.
feels.
Oh, my God.
Vivian says, cats can sense distress. Whenever I'm sad, my cat always comes running towards me.
Our cat doesn't care.
I beg to differ. Last night, I had a really bad day yesterday and kind of a bad night, and I came home and she like jumped up on like the staircase ledge so that she could like be in my face, because I was just standing there like, things suck again. Like, this sucks.
Well,
so I think
she doesn't care about my feelings. So
I think she just knows that when she tries to go see you, you just ignore her.
No, the only time she'll come in and want pets from me is when I'm on the toilet. And it's like, I want to escape, but because she's giving me affection, I can't escape. And I'm just like, I guess I'll hold you here and pet you for whatever amount of time you feel like it, until you feel like you want to leave.
It's funny. It's totally true that the cat loves it. Come in there and rub against people's legs when they're taking a shit. Akbar says, I have a semi-bond with my tortoise, and I don't know if I'm going to get the name right, so I'm going to try. Me, Phoenicia, I summon thee. Tortoise trundles past me, steps on my foot, then takes a shit. It's a special connection you share. Vivian says, actually, Robin, Adam's right. A sentence I never thought I'd say. Physics say that the horse's feet should work like camel feet, balancing out and stabling it on the sand.
What?
I don't remember
discussing
that. Maybe we got Men in Black and we forgot about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Etsy says, Adam, were you the horse girl in high school? I was not.
A horse girl.
We had a horse girl. Like, we had a girl who rode horses and stuff like that. I grew in, like, you know, Northwest Indiana, like, but it was the Boondies. So everyone's family had a farm and everyone went riding at some point. But there was one person who was, like, all about it. And as an adult, she still posts pictures of, like, her farm that's huge and she owns a bunch of horses. So I was not the horse girl. I didn't ride a horse until I was, like, 32, actually. Even though, like, my best friend had horses and I used to go feed them when they were on vacation.
When we went riding a horse, that was your first time riding a horse?
My first time. Yep. I know. I looked just fucking natural in the saddle. It's awesome. Like, born cowboy.
But you've been around horses so much.
I know. I just never rode one.
They're cool.
Leo Chacha says, Adam, you speak like you've met my two boys who have told me countless jokes. Thank you. Vivian says, money doesn't grow on trees, but it does grow in coats. Right, man? Like, come on. Like, that's just the best ghost you could ever have. I'm going to scroll some more. Has anyone watched either My Dog Skip or Hitachi?
No, Hitachi's an adult toy. Hachi is about the Shiba. The Akiba. Which one is it? Akita. That's what it is. Akiba is not. I think that's a place. But Akita. It's about the dog at Shibuya Station.
Shibuya.
I'm pretty sure at Shibuya Station where the dogs are everywhere. They have the statue of Hachi and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what that movie is.
I have not seen them. Jesus and Itzy says, Adam, I finally realized what actor you look a lot like. His name is Greg Grunberg. I don't know who that is unless it's the fat guy from Heroes, in which case, thanks.
Oh, no.
Nestle says, I cry at Nanny McPhee. Such a good movie. I've never seen Nanny McPhee.
It's where, like, the nanny comes in and she's kind of fugs when she first arrives. And then as they start falling in love with her, she becomes really pretty.
I didn't know that happened. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I knew she was fugs.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's all they showed of her in the commercials. Akbar says, when I was slightly younger, I was reading Spirit Animals, and a man and his familiar died defending his students, and I wept for his otter family and this great teacher. That is, like, super touching. Akbar says, oh my god, yes, Nanny McPhee. I love that Akbar is from, like, the Philippines, and someone mentions Nanny McPhee, and it's like, connection. Leo Chacha says, I bawled my eyes out. My Dog Skip I have watched 3 times in 30 plus years, but each time I've still lost it when I watched it. Anna says, I think I need, quote, hold your shit together, Diaz, as a motivational bumper sticker. I talk so much shit to myself in my brain, man. Like, if you could hear me yelling at myself, like, day to day, you'd just be like, wow, like, this is just the most ridiculous shit ever. Vivian says, I never cry at people or pets dying. I cry at the way their loved ones react to it, knowing they'll never talk with them and laugh with them and cry with them. Way to get super fucking real, Vivian. I'm going to read the last 2 and then get on to my last email, which apparently is also super sad. So Vivian says, I was talking about the horse from the Neverending Story. Got it. Okay, cool. Because I was saying, like, the horse just disappeared. Oh. They're saying, like, they agreed with me on the physics. Like, you just got to lie to yourself is what it comes down to.
Ah, yes.
Sorry, we didn't remember. We suck. I was talking about the horse, blah, 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 blah. Well, scientifically, it shouldn't have sunk. And Leo Chacha says, yes, Robin is correct. So there you go. One more validation that you were correct.
About the doggo?
Probably just about everything in general.
A lot of people were like, oh my god, not Hitachi, because you said Hitachi.
Oh my god, I'm such a moron.
Just so, you're not
I cannot
moron.
wait to correct your next mistake.
It's not that you're a moron. It's just the funniest thing you could have said. It's just the funniest thing.
I'm just hilarious because I'm so dumb, folks. My eyes don't work and my brain is broken. All right, your hand is really warm.
Yeah, it's hot in
Holy
here.
Shit, man, that's insane. Like, I'm pretty sure my back is scalded. All right, so I'm trying to think of a transition. My bad. Okay,
it is your bad.
You suck, dude. Stop trolling me. All right. This is my favorite bit that we do for the live shows where Robin just fucks with me the whole time because she doesn't edit the show, so she doesn't know how difficult this is. Good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move into my last one of the show and the last one of the show. And the subject is voices. And it's long.
Scary. I don't like that.
Okay. It's long and we're going to get into it. And it starts out like this. Yola, Adam and Robin.
Yola.
It's got to be like Ola and YOLO mixed together.
No, or just Yo and Ola.
That could be too. My name is Rachel, and I thought these would be a few interesting stories in a few different ways for you. Feel free to share it if you would like. Do note, though, 2 out of the 3 have sad yet happy aspects to them. I absolutely love your podcast, and it helps get me through my job daily, including wigging me out a little as I work at night, and sometimes it adds a little scary flair to my evening, especially when working in haunted places. That is super creepy, and we apologize. But like, we're just trying to really lean towards the ish and not just the scary part. So hopefully it's nothing too bad.
Nice.
It goes on to say, so the first thing to note, I live in a duplex apartment with my boyfriend and our roommate, who was the original housemate prior to him moving in. Then I came shortly after.
What is a duplex?
A duplex is like a single house that's been split into 2 units. Pretty sure.
So they share the same staircase? Like someone will go into the other house through the staircase? Or?
It's usually like they have a shared entrance. One leads to the downstairs. One leads to a staircase that takes you upstairs. And the upstairs is a unit and the downstairs is a unit.
Okay.
I lived in a duplex that was like supposedly a townhouse, but all they had done is build walls on the first floor and the second floor that were totally not up to code and just split this house right down the middle. So it was technically a duplex. It was a piece of shit house in a really bad area, but my rent was $600. So it's like, what are you going to do? My house got broken into, but that's going to happen. All right. Getting back to it. During casual discussion with the roommate one day, the roommate is gender neutral by choice, said that the house was haunted and had a few instances during the first year there, but nothing bad. For instance, it's like, hey, just by the way, now that you're living here, place is haunted. For instance, lights flickering, cups casually being knocked over and whatnot, mainly in the kitchen where one big incident took place. Maybe it was a kitty cat, since we already had one kitty cat ghost. Cups getting knocked over just sounds like a kitty cat's MO.
Yep.
I have also been...
Well, no, because our cat doesn't knock stuff over like that.
Our cat doesn't, but she's devious. She chews cords.
And hair ties.
It goes on to say, I have been diagnosed with schizophrenia in the past and have a habit of hearing things and seeing things, but sometimes, in parentheses, very unsettling, the things I see have been confirmed by others without these issues, so it's hard to discern sometimes what's my head and what isn't. That is a very difficult disorder to live with, and I just want to give you a shout out because it is very, very hard to just even acknowledge the fact. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, and I am personally incredibly proud of you for being able to send me that email and say that sentence. Because, I mean, I've mentioned it before. I have someone that's very close to me, and I'll just say it right now. It's my brother who has difficulties at some points in his life just saying that sentence. So that right there speaks volumes to me. So shout out to you. I'm going to keep going. The first time we recognized that the house was haunted was when my boyfriend and I went to sleep one night shortly after we started dating and were having some trouble sleeping. I was on the side of the bed against the wall, and he was on the edge closest to the door. As we were starting to fall asleep, we both were startled awake by what sounded like tiny feet stomping up the stairs and running right past his bedroom door. We tried to quietly reason that it must have been neighbors or the roommate, but this was around 3 a.m. on a Wednesday, and all had gone to sleep and haven't made noises since around midnight.
That's frightening.
We also realized during this moment of contemplation that his bedroom door is directly in between the stairwell and ends at a 90-degree angle with the bathroom door, so whatever it was had to have ran in the bathroom and would have nowhere else to go lest they go the other direction toward the roommate's room.
Oh my god, I'm assuming that there was nothing there.
Hilariously, my boyfriend pulled a secret machete out from beside his bed.
How do you have a secret machete?
That's because she probably didn't know it was there. Beside his side of the bed, in parentheses, has for home protection. I can just imagine like going to my friend's house late at night and trying not to be like too like noisy, and them coming down the staircase with a fucking machete. Like, I would think I was about to be murdered by like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But hey, home protection. Let's be real. Continues on. He crept to the door asking me if we should call the police, and I replied, and tell them what? Officer, a ghost is breaking into our apartment and running about the hallway.
Also, here's my secret machete.
Right? All in a sneaky whisper, mind you. He searched the apartment and found no one around and immediately came back in and said, yup, that shit is fucking haunted, man. We continued to hear it for a few more minutes in spurts, but it stopped shortly after. We still ended staying up as I was pregnant at the time and couldn't get comfortable. Dude, imagine being pregnant, being woken up by 3 a.m. by a running child, or I'm guessing child, but a running ghost. I'd be like, I don't have time to deal with this nonsense right now.
I feel like if it were me, I would just be pissed off.
Right.
Because as soon as that kid comes, I'm not getting any sleep. So if you're making me lose sleep before it even happens, I'm going to kill you.
Not to mention the fact that you're like pregnant, so sleeping is difficult in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I was sleeping and you woke me up, like things will be burned. All right. Goes on to say, It has been confirmed by the roommate that there is a shadow presence in the living room, and it was always unsettling to me until one day in particular. During the early time of our relationship, we found out I was pregnant by my new boyfriend while still having to deal with the previous separation from my ex, which had been an extreme amount of stress for me and my boyfriend alike, as he would constantly call and harass me, including mocking the pregnancy. He had
Wow.
began to fuck with my head and convince me I was going to be a terrible parent, which caused a lack of sleep, and I would go downstairs as to not wake up my boyfriend and let my emotions out. That is fucked up.
That's super.
He is a
fucked
horrible
up.
person. Hashtag fuck him. Just saying. So I'm going to keep going before I rant too much more, but that's just horrible. No one deserves that. Shortly after a huge fight with my ex, which had been a day-long strain of unwanted phone calls, I went downstairs and had a long mental breakdown on the couch in the living room and felt this shadow grow huge around me. But it began to retreat the more these emotions were released. It was almost as if it were afraid of what was happening because at the time, I felt like something was wrong and there was an unceasing fear within me.
Wow.
Shortly thereafter, it was discovered this argument with my ex and the stress caused me to miscarry what would have been a set of fraternal twins, which would have been my first ever pregnancy. Holy
That's
shit.
super unfortunate and super horrible.
Yeah, that's super intense. And I'm very, very sorry that you had to go through something like that. That's stressful that resulted in something that sad. It goes on to say, I would frequently return to the couch due to being kept awake by the pain during the miscarriage. Apparently, it's worse than normal due to it being multiple pregnancy, and the pain was the feeling of being in half labor constantly. I noticed that the shadow would immediately keep a safe distance, and the atmosphere would calm around me as if it wanted to comfort me and all it had witnessed previously. It's like, there's like a meme out there where it's like a demon possesses someone's body and then starts feeling all the pain that the person feels, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they're like, can I offer you a mint? Like, what do you want? Like, this reminds me of that, where it's like, if you're going through something so horrific, I think there's a lot of things that feed off that sort of energy.
Yep.
But I think there's a certain threshold where it's like, ooh, shit, like maybe this isn't the right time. Like even something like that, something supernatural would just either leave well enough alone or just sort of be there.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of times when I think of like malevolent forces or malevolent energy, it's like the reason they torment things is because like the old adage, like misery loves company. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you're already like exceedingly miserable or going through something so horrible, like I just can't imagine that there's much more that this thing could do, you know? So it goes on to say, as of writing this, it has been 5 months since my miscarriage, and anytime I return to the living room, I have not sensed a single drop of bad energy. The shadow creature remains, but we seem to have now a sort of friendship, and if I ever feel sad, it now calms me rather than endorse my pain. That's like so weird, but like so nice.
Yeah.
Goes on to say, or I should say, like, this is the next leg of the story. The last time and most recent took place in the kitchen. My boyfriend and I like to have crazy nights sometimes, and we also smoke a lot of hookah. I went downstairs toward the end of one of these nights. I went to go repack the hookah that had burnt out in the kitchen alone. When you repack, you have to wash the old tobacco out of the bowl and light the coal on the stove. I noticed there were dishes in the sink when I went downstairs, so I decided to quickly do those while I was there. While I was doing the dishes, I noticed a myriad of voices starting to talk all at once in my head, and when I'd turn around, they would stop. I decided to try and ignore them, but they began to get louder, and out of the blue, one voice spoke out in particular and said, "Hi."
Nope.
I was immediately halted in my task as it chilled me to my core. The voice was one of my best friends who had committed suicide close to 2 years prior. That is so sad. He had always been one of my best friends, and we stayed friends after all other high school friends faded into their lives as adults. I was a couple years older than him and tried to keep up with him as much as I could. Eventually, just as things do, life caught up with the both of us and contact became less and less. I was dealing with a lot of drama and work, or I think it's drama at work, or just a lot of drama and also a lot of work, as well as he was in a band that kept him pretty busy most of the time. We would try and message as we could, and I made sure to like all of his posts about his band on Facebook. Quick pause. You don't know how much that means to someone to support the thing that they're pouring themselves into, because like Robin and I have been doing this podcast for about a year and a half, and like that's how we know so many of the people in the Spooky Friends is like so-and-so clicked like. You know what I mean? So-and-so shared it, so-and-so favorited it, and it means a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you put a lot of yourself into something. Like, you create something and you're trying to be creative and put something out there that like is entertaining or helps people. And in the best thing that you could probably hope for is that it gets ignored instead of getting shit on. So when something happens, like someone acknowledges or clicks like on it, like it really does mean a lot.
Yeah.
So you were doing that, and I guarantee you that meant a lot. As well as comment that I was proud of him and couldn't wait to go see one of his shows sometime. Then one day I went on Facebook and his obituary had been posted, along with a request for donations to the suicide hotline. This has always been a regret for me, as during high school I was a very troubled person, and he had saved me from the same fate more than a few times that I can count, as well as kept me sane in the process, but I wish I could have done the same for him, just as he did for me all those years ago. I can't say don't feel too much regret, because I'm filled with regret for stuff like this, but just understand that like it was a choice that was made, and as much as you could have been there for someone, it's never ever ever your fault. Like there's just nothing you can do sometimes, and you just have to accept that. And you've probably heard this a million times, and I have to tell myself this all the time too, but it's just one of those things that's like horribly tragic, and there's no explanation for it. But the things that you did when they were still around, those are the things that truly matter. It goes on to say, when I heard this voice, I immediately stopped in my tracks and asked for him to say something else. I never thought I would hear his voice again after I lost him, and the last thing he said was, "I'm okay, don't worry," before the voices faded to nothing. I spent some time downstairs contemplating what just happened, and when I returned upstairs, my boyfriend asked if I was okay since I was visibly shaken. All I could say at the time was I wasn't going to the kitchen alone next time. I eventually did tell him what I heard, and I still hope to hear it again whenever I go to the kitchen alone, but all times have been silent ever since. Sorry about the long stories and the sadness in them, but they were very important times in my life, and I hope you like them. Creeping it real, Rachel.
It's pretty solid.
It's a pretty solid sign off. Those are amazing stories.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that you've had to deal with so much crappy stuff in your life and a lot of hardships, and we're just glad you're around to share your stories with us.
You're in a very difficult fight, and you're doing incredibly well. I can tell you that just from like my familiarity with a lot of the things that you've gone through, and we parallel a lot in a lot of shit. So I sincerely appreciate you reaching out, because it's not easy to write a scary story that happened to you, much less an incredibly traumatic experience. So, and you wrote a few, so we sincerely appreciate it, and your outlook on everything is just amazing. And yeah, it's a great story. Thank you for sending that in, and I guarantee you someone out there heard that, and it means the world that they could hear something like that shared. And thank you one last time. So let's look over into stream chat, see what you folks had to say. I'm going to read through the YouTube stuff. That way I can set up a marbles on stream. And this is why I really like to do marbles.
I can't read because I had to F5, so all my Twitch is gone.
Okay, so we'll read together off of this screen if you can see it. But like I was saying, we're going to do that, and then we're going to do marbles on stream. And this is why I really like marbles, because sometimes we end the show on a heavy note. And it's like a nice way to bring it down. Everyone have a little bit of fun before we sign off. And what sucks for me is that when I edit this, it goes from like this melancholy, bittersweet moment to us having like higher energy from doing marbles on stream and having a bunch of fun. And I never want people to listen and think like all of a sudden my demeanor has changed because I'm just like jovial after something like that. So like I have to make sure I'm just like neutral when we finally do like the final transition out of it. So just a little bit of like behind the scenes difficulties that we're going to have to face when we do the edit. But let's look at some of the stuff that you folks had to say. If it'll scroll up. Okay, I think we're about right there. People making fun of me for saying Hitachi. Awesome. Which is a brand, I'm pretty sure, for TVs.
Yeah. They also make other things.
Cool.
Let's see.
Akbar says, I prefer YOLO Hala, which is a pretty good greeting. Etsy says, oh boy, don't Google it, LOL. I think that's in reference to something else further up. What else do we have? Leo Chacha says, I think they made electronics. They did make electronics. So.
Glitchgrim says, what about a reverse centaur? So the top is horse and the bottom is a man/woman.
I think it would keep falling over.
Well, I just think of BoJack Horseman.
That's a good point.
Like, that's all I imagine when I think about that. Oh, look. Laura Ann says, I was just thinking about BoJack Horseman.
There you go. Vivian says the first step in fixing an issue is to acknowledge that the issue exists. That's the absolute truth. And like I've had to say it a lot of times in my life, like you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. Like you can do everything you can for them, but unless they're choosing to get the help, like they will not choose to receive it either. So it's just something that you have to deal with. And it's important to realize that for like things that you do in your life. And everyone's just tossing out BoJack Horseman a little bit here too. Scrolling a little bit more. A lot of discussion about this reverse centaur, which is hilarious. Minnie Maria over on YouTube says, the Korean movie Maundy Thursday never fails to make me cry. Both of the protagonists go through their own traumatic childhood experiences and then meet as a result of a church program that volunteers to keep death row inmates company, and it just makes you think about the cases in which the death sentence is used erroneously. That does sound super intense. Yeah. I don't imagine that you could prevent yourself from crying for something like that intense. Akbar says, so against your guys' guidance, I Googled Hitachi and all that came up was microphones.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it was just microphones.
Why? Do you know what it's supposed to be?
Well, I mean, they're personal massagers that look like microphones.
Is Hitachi a brand that makes dildos or vibrators?
Yep.
And now we know.
And knowing is half the battle. But what were we?
We were reading.
No. But there was something that was said that.
The guy's guidance.
Oh, Korean movies that make me cry. So, Moment to Remember is really, really sad. It made Adam even go like, "What the f did I just watch?"
Like, why did you do this to me, man? Yeah, like, why would you make me watch something this sad?
It makes me cry. It's so sad. It's not A Walk to Remember now. It's not the Mandy Moore movie.
Different movie.
It's A Moment to Remember. It's a Korean movie. And then
it's like The Notebook if The Notebook was actually really, really, really good. And I hate that it's a great movie that she made me watch that's very emotional. And I'm just like, holy shit, man. Like, this is difficult. Like, I love this movie, but I'll never rewatch it. Like, it's very sad.
And then there's My Sassy Girl. That's really good, but also made me cry. There's a lot of older Korean movies that were just so good. And I'm always about that foreign film stuff. Always makes me want to watch them.
Emma was disconnected in chat and is now back. Hooray. TARDIS Hunter says, ooh, what if the entity was feeding off of the negativity / mental breakdown? I think that's kind of what was happening. He was feeding off the negativity, and when they came over, they're like, this isn't the energy I can really feed off of because of like the entire like miscarriage of the pregnancy thing that was going on. That's just horrible. Or maybe like, I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much because like realistically we have no idea. But it sounds, I think that's what that person was going through. Sounds like something like a demon would feed off of, but like a ghost. Typically you don't associate with like a lot of negative energy like fueling something like a ghost, but who, I don't know, you know, like there's so many cases of like hauntings where people say it was poltergeist feeding off of negative energy.
Yeah,
it's like there's no rule book, you don't really know. I just think it's really nice that it's like even this like creepy shadow entity was just like, holy shit, man, like I'm so sorry. And it was just like, let's just chill on this couch together.
Let's see.
People were saying
Callie Washu had to leave. Good night. Thank you for joining us.
People were really saying they were really sad regarding the story.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, sad story is very true.
T-Pain says, Robin, do you have a Korean film / series list? My daughters would love something like that. I will post something to our website in the future about that because I have so many things that I've watched and it's I have a lot to share, I suppose.
It's why we want to start that movie podcast, which we discussed getting it going because we have so much travel coming up. But sincerely, like I'd want to get this media empire off its fucking off the ground, so I don't have to work at a soul-sucking 9-to-5 corporate office anymore. And hopefully, you folks will support us with the next one too, and then we can just move from there.
Yeah.
Leo Chacha says, "Love when my dog growls while looking down the hall, seeing nothing, and being home alone." That's terrifying. Akbar says, my tortoise growls. Is that normal? I don't think you have a tortoise, man. I think that's a squirtle.
You walk around in the sweetest shades of all time.
Have some badass shades. It's a number one sign that that's a squirtle on your hands. Vivian says, I don't think so, Akbar. Miranda says, I just found out yesterday that my BFF from high school died, and it's so hard. I wish your spirit would come over and visit me. Just, you know what? Grieve how you need to, and hopefully something like that will happen. But in a lot of cases, it's just like you just have to like deal with it. Like I lost someone too, and like I have not seen hide nor hair of them in any way, shape, or form, except like an occasional dream where I wake up just feeling like empty and broken. So I'm glad that we have the spooky friends because we can talk about stuff like that because it does suck, but that's just like how life goes, man. Like sometimes bad things happen and we lose people and we just have to acknowledge the fact that they're not there. And all I try and do nowadays is tell stories about the funny shit that I had in my life with that person because then I feel like they're there. You know what I mean? Like when you tell a story about someone, like funny stuff that happened, like you're just kind of reliving that moment, and it's a nice way to like keep them around. Anna says, there was a time in grade school when I was feeling really shitty and even suicidal. I remember crying on my bed, feeling isolated and alone, but then I felt arms wrapped around me. As I cried, even though I know no one was there. I don't know if it was a guardian angel, which I believe in, or a ghost, but it was very comforting to know something cared.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. And then she said, long, awkward pause, and then corrected something. I'm really glad that you guys share these stories, and everyone here was sharing stories with each other and saying, I'm sorry. People were saying, I'm sorry to Miranda for losing someone. Like, things are rough, man. Like, we just got to share those experiences with people so we can kind of like all just lean on each other and just make it through. Like, I'm like all about like making it through together. Like, that's just all you can really do as you go through like really difficult times. So I'm glad that's kind of like the community that's attached itself to, you know, Scary-ish. There's people that like feel that way.
Lunabin asks, a question for everyone. If you could have any non-legendary Pokemon as a buddy, who would you choose?
Non-legendary?
Non-legendary.
I mean, it's probably going to be Squirtle.
Really?
Yeah.
Squirtle?
I mean, I'd probably evolve him to Blastoise because he looks so badass. But like, that's my first. Like, that's the first Pokemon that was my Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has a very special place in my heart.
I'm gonna have to say Gengar. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon. He's just like ghost Pokemon are my favorite. I think they're the coolest. They're so hard to attack with freaking normal type moves. It's annoying. But
all right,
that's my favorite. I don't know.
I'm gonna read through the last YouTube stuff that I see. I think you're about as caught up as you can be, so you can read some Twitch stuff. All right. Got some stuff here. Minnie Maria says, LOL Robin, I think I'm 99% sure why Hitachi made you laugh. Unbelievable. Etsy says, well, I have to turn in a bit early tonight. Good day/night, peeps, and take care. Thank you for joining us. That's what we appreciate.
Good day.
Also, congrats to, and it won't let me scroll, to the stream winners.
winners.
Vivian says, wise words with Vivian. Everyone gets help sometimes, but it's the truly great that can accept it. It's
Akbar
totally
says,
true.
okay, I have to clear my history now.
Wow. Way to Google Hitachi. Leo Chacha says, I love how Robin looked at you and said, if The Notebook was a good movie. It's like, as I said, she's never seen The Notebook.
I've
so
never seen The Notebook.
Uh,
I saw a little scene on Netflix.
What do you want?
No, that's not the one. There was a scene whenever you hover over movies on Netflix, it shows you a random scene from it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like the scene where they're on the, what is it called? When the carts go around in a circle. The high roller.
The carousel?
Is it a carousel?
Oh, no, I saw a meme with a carousel, so it's stuck in my head. The merry-go-round?
Not a merry-go-round.
The
Ferris
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. So there was a scene where they're on the Ferris wheel, and he wants her to date him.
So he like acts like he's gonna. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I was just, my mind was making me think this movie is so dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Nicholas Sparks isn't the best writer, so he's very famous though, and he has a ton of money. So I guess he wins.
Well, I think he has a ghostwriter now.
Like an actual ghost? That's so cool.
Oh, you're so stupid. I hate you.
Akbar says something really smart. I really like this. Give help to all who need it, but deny it to those who ever abused it. Don't let people take advantage of you.
Yep.
But help the people that need it. Vivian says, I think I've mentioned this before, but the movie Next Gen, I wept. I keep hearing about Next Gen. I think I heard about it at work too. Akbar says, we aren't just spooky friends. We are spooky family. And then Anna says, spooky family. Emma says, I would choose Umbreon. Leo Chacha says, Lotad or Jinx. Akbar says, side note, long awkward pause for me was when Adam and Robin were just staring at the screen instead of talking. Not for Anna's story. Right on. Our crest symbol would be the Scary-ish logo encircled by corn.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Hilarious, not hilary-ish. Akbar says, I choose Torkoal. Emma says, ooh, maybe Ludicolo. I love how happy they look. Vivian says, when life sucks, people die, you get hurt, stupid shit happens, life is a crappy deal, but we don't really get any others, so I focus on the death, pain, shit, and crappy deal when you can focus on Scary-ish.
Aww.
It's hilarious. There's a lot of good stuff in life, too, and I think that's what we try and make sure people focus on. Akbar said Ferris wheel because we're fucking morons. Nat said ditto. I would choose ditto. Okay. go ahead and read some of your Twitch stuff while
All
I
right.
get Marbles
So
on stream
here's
set
a
up.
few of the Pokemon people have chosen.
Really quickly, anyone on YouTube who would like to participate and perhaps get some free merch, switch over to twitch.tv/scarypodcast. If you don't have an account, it's totally free to make. It takes like 20 seconds to sign up, and you will be ready to go by the time we get rolling. So anyone who does this normally, switch over right now to Twitch.
All right, so a few of the Pokemon choices. There was Houndoom, Gengar, Yeast, Haunter,
Yeast.
Bulbasaur.
I was like, what Pokemon is Yeast? It's Robin
Oh,
saying
do
she
you
agrees.
remember those videos that people used to make of Pokemon and they'd add voices to them of their little animations? And I think Lapras was the one that was like, yes.
Yeah.
Or no, all of them said yes in different ways, you know? Oh, I don't know. That's so funny. Anyway, so Bulbasaur, Snorlax, Swampert, Eevee and Ponyta, Sawsbuck or Deerling. Ooh, Drifloon. Drifloon would be a nice creepy one to have because of the story where Drifloons take children.
Like Drifloon's like bio says that they're ghost Pokemon and they have like those long like things so that they can like not grab children's hands but hold children's hands as they like lead them off into like the fucking afterlife.
Yeah. I don't know. It's super creepy. But let's see. Charmander, Espeon. Someone said Absol. Absol's cool tea.
It's got that nice comb over. That flock of seagulls look.
Oh my god. Cubone. Oh, this is
What up? Hey it Nat. I'm pretty sure you're Nat Bauer from Twitch. Thank you for switching over.
Thank you
Let's
so
win you
much.
some shit. Or everyone else.
And
says any Pokemon that looks tortoise-ish is my pick.
And fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, for those of you that have not yet joined Twitch Prime, I know there were a lot of things going on with Amazon this past week, this couple days ago, but if you go to twitch.amazon.com, you can connect your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account and then get free subscriptions to whatever channel you want to give your subscription to once every 30 days.
Take $5 out of Jeff Bezos' pocket that he's giving you every month and give it to us, because if you don't, he puts it back in his pocket. But you get 5 free dollar dues every month, and we would appreciate it if you gave that to us, because you can subscribe to any channel. Really quickly, before Robin continues reading, if you would like to race and you would like to pick which track, type in !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds with the track that you would like to race. I'm going to go ahead and vote for just a random number while Robin continues to read your wonderful Pokemon selections.
Let's see. I only saved like $2 on Prime Day. Just saying, I didn't really save any money.
I didn't order anything on Prime Day, but I did get my Adventure Zone, Murder on the Rockport Limited, delivered because it finally came. I ordered it back in December. So me and Glitch have been waiting for that shit for a while.
If you folks want to join us playing marbles, please come over to twitch.tv/scaryishpodcast. It really is just a fun little race that we do. We do 2 races at the end of the night, and it's just really fun for everyone to join. And at the end, the winner of each race gets a piece of Scary-ish merch. So it's either a sticker or a coaster, or I still have some static clings as well. And it's just a cool thing that we get to do with all of you. So it's free. Twitch, creating an account is completely free. If you pay for Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime is included, and subscriptions are free for you.
So, I see that Badger Shell said that I'm going to make my own channel and just subscribe to my own. They have a loophole in there where you have to be an affiliate before you can get subscriptions, which means you have to like meet certain like hours watched and days streamed and amount of subscribers and followers. It is not that stringent. I think it just has to be like 3 on average in a month. And once you get that, then you can have your channel be an affiliate status and you can sub to your own stuff. The next thing you have to worry about is they don't pay you out until you have $100 in your like Twitch bank. And if you're doing it like you're going to have to do it, almost for 2 years to finally take that $100 out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. But hey, if it's worth it to you, I say go for it.
I do have more emotes as well for higher tier subscriptions. If you guys want to check out, you can look in the tiers, like the subscription tiers. There's I think there's 2 other emotes that are available to those that are in the higher tiered,
Indubitably,
subscriptions. So if you want to check that out.
It looks like we're going to be racing Eye of the Storm 2 because it has 8 votes. There's a bunch of them with 1, a few of them with 2.
I just typed a random number.
Eye of the Storm, I typed in a random number 2. Looks like it's going to be our first one. Vivian says, bye guys. Thank you for joining us, Vivian.
Bye.
Vivian. nice to know that your name is not Karen.
Oh, that's funny. As soon as I said bye, Glitchgrim put up the emote that said #bye.
That's hilarious. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move into Eye of the Storm 2 because it definitely won this voting sesh. And we can get started with our first race of the night. The average time to complete it is 2 minutes and 38 seconds. No one has ever done it faster than 1 minute and 47. So let's get into it. For those of you who would like to enter into this race, we just did the voting selection. Now type !play, as some folks are already doing, and you will get your marble on stream to represent you in this race, and hopefully you can win some free shit. This map is apparently also raining.
It's cool. I think we've done this one before, right?
McShake and Bake won this one last time with 2 minutes and 53 seconds. So we get to race that ghost ball too.
Cool. Yes, so everyone in YouTube, if you're still there, please come on over twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. Join this completely free race. An account at Twitch is free. The race is free. And I mean, who doesn't want a Scarish sticker?
Anna says, got my copy of Rockport Limited 2. I haven't even opened the thing yet. I took it out of the package, set it down on the table. Someone was nice enough to have water all over the table that they did not clean up. So like the back of my book before I took, like the minute I took it out of the package was like screwed up immediately. So I was like, son of a bitch.
Why don't you order a new one?
I mean, I can, but it's just annoying that like I owned it for like 6 whole seconds before like the back got screwed up.
Why didn't you pay attention before you put it down?
Because it was dark, and I didn't think that someone would have left a giant puddle of water on the kitchen table.
Well, you know, the night is dark and full of terrors.
It is. The terrors of people that are irresponsible as shit. I'm
still listening to Rockport Limited. I'm re-listening to it because we listened to it on our road trip, I think.
And she sleeps.
And so I just wanted to re-listen to it and actually make sure I...
That arc is so fucking good, dude. I can't wait to read and meet Angus. Angus is just such a good character. We have 24 marbles right now in the stream. Go ahead and join us if you haven't. I show that we have 38 folks watching. I can actually look at these numbers now that we have this updated chat app because that's one of the things that does work. It says that there are only 23 people in Twitch, so we have everyone that's in Twitch right now has joined us, plus a ghost. So that's awesome to know. Thank you so much for everyone. So I'll give it 10 more seconds, and I'm going to click start.
Yes, twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. Anybody who is still in YouTube, hop on over, join us. It's fun, it's cool, it's great when we have a whole bunch of people racing, just because the marbles get insane, but it's really cool.
All right, you have 10 seconds to join if you have not already. I am clicking start on the monitor over there and not on the actual game. There we go. You have 10 seconds now, and we got this big funnel. While we're all spinning around it, let's check and see what the rest of the track looks like. And see who takes home some free stuff.
Glitch says, !juicy wizard.
That's so funny.
Spooky Zora says, an alarm is going off somewhere.
Holy
and the
shit.
birds just started imitating it. It's so great.
This is going to get intense. I know we have some first timers in here too, so I'm curious to see. I think Lunabin is a first timer.
Thank you, Tanlung4028 for following us.
Appreciate you. Let's see what's going to happen now. I think Miranda's a first timer too. We see McShake and Bake's ghost ball right there. So that's the record we're all racing against. I like the idea of the funnel because a lot of the maps start off this way.
Looks like an asshole.
But it really does look like an asshole. But it really does take a while to get through it, man. Like, I prefer the tracks that make you go fast because I want to go fast because if you ain't first or last, I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. All right. Looks like Scriptory is going to be the first person to make it through. Actually, I lied. Itzy made it through way before Scriptory. But we got some weird shit coming up, so we'll see who survives it and who does not. It's a pretty solid line Itzy just took through that obstacle. Second place is Spooky Zora. The Scriptory are fighting it out. Amanda, Eric. We got a lot of people coming up on it. There's another filter. Amanda, I think, is taking first place now.
Badger Shell
Indeed
says,
she has.
Akbar and myself are one entity.
It's hilarious. All right, Amanda is in first place. Here's another funnel, because why not, right? This person is just obsessed with funnels.
Sounds fun. No.
God. Just so bad sometimes. All right. They're coming down the pipe. Amanda just avoided all of those obstacles into the giant cloud and then did not make the jump. This is where everyone is going to start getting eliminated. Yeah. We're stuck in this cloud. The camera can't move. This is a disaster. It looks like Tanya has made it. No, never mind. I lied. Woo Scarish and Itzy made it through and survived. It looks like Itzy has regained first place. Although Woo Scarish is right behind and taking a really good line towards that finish line, I believe Woo Scarish has just won. Congratulations. We have a lot of folks still trying to make that jump back there that are not going to make it, but Woo Scarish finishes first. Holy God, who is that? The Scriptery is in the sun right now. We'll see if you land. No, you did not.
Let's see. Lunabin says, that's a booty hole?
That's hilarious. It totally was a booty hole, let's be real. I am still just back there in the cloud. Abe's Monster is taking after the Scriptery and touching the sky along with Badger Shell. Abe's Monster, however, survived that jump.
I hear it's a stairway to heaven.
Do you hear that?
No, I don't know.
McShake and Bake's record has been shattered. I just like to point out because he's still on the board, and I'm still back there along with Elf Huntress and Hannah Kiwi. Man, I don't think we're going to get any points on this one because that wave to eliminate us is on its way. Hannah Kiwi is going to finish out, and we'll go back and see what the hell is taking us so long over here. No, I'm dead. And Elf Huntress has been eliminated as well. So, good stuff. We'll see who collects points.
The Scriptery said, I don't know, seems more like the highway to hell.
Seriously, man. You go a little bit up and then way, way, way down. And it's over. Congratulations, Woo Scarish.
Congratulations. So email us, storytime@scarish.com with your mailing address. And if there's any particular design of sticker that you would like, I'll see what we have in stock and see what I can finagle.
Cool. So Woo Scarish got 23 points for that race. We have no idea how the bonus XP works on this. It says XP7, bonus XP7, somehow 7 plus 7 equals
Did I die?
23. Yes, you did. You were eliminated,
man.
did not finish. You still have 54 points, which is a load of garbage.
Am I still winning?
You are winning. Meadows has 35. I have 24. 23 is Abe's Monster. 28 is Woo Scarish now. Valley Grill's finished with 24. Laura Ann is now up to 22. So very weird point system. I was going to say pointing system for this season, but at some point we'll realize what the hell is going on with it, and then we can track it a little bit more. However, we have one more race tonight, so hopefully it goes back to the race menu. There it goes.
Yes, so if you're still on YouTube, I hope you're still watching, hop on over to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast and join us because it is a fun, free race. An account is free. Also, if you folks don't have Amazon Prime, if you go to our website, scarish.com, there is a link all the way at the bottom for 30 free days of Amazon Prime. If you guys want to try it out, also link your Twitch account and then just, use that free trial to actually just do, free subscription while you're at it. I mean, hey.
There you go. Why not?
All right. It's just nice and fun and great. And it's a great way to support us without spending any dollar dues if you don't have it.
Seriously is. We get that money and you don't have to spend it, and it really works out.
It's Jeff Bezos's money. Spend that shit.
Spend it. All right, we got a lot of votes coming in. It's always nice to see folks voting. Coils of Power has 9. Why are you guys all texting each other and saying let's all vote for the same thing? It's pretty impressive, except I didn't vote for it. It doesn't really matter,
that was
though.
The one I voted for last time.
Well, I think everyone picked up on it. Average time for that track is 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Now there's 11 votes for it. I don't think we're going to be racing any other track, folks. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Coils of Power because I think it's pretty clear that that one has won. And the fastest time ever was 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So someone beat that, and we'll be super happy because then everyone will see your name that plays this game. And there are a lot of streamers that actually do this. So
yes.
!play to join in right now and get your marble on stream. We had 24 last time. Let's try and get one more than 24. I always try and have the second race be more, and we usually succeed at that. So
the Snark asks if they get one, or if they only get one subscription per Amazon Prime family, and I think it's only one. I think you get one subscription, doesn't matter if it's family or not, which is unfortunate.
Hey, we got 25 marbles. You folks are wonderful.
Thank you so much, Badger Shell, for subscribing?
Yep, Badger Shell just subscribed.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. Thank you, folks. 26 marbles now. We definitely have more right now than we have before, which is nice to see.
I love seeing all the balls on the map with the things. Blah, blah, blah.
So articulate.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to click start in 10 seconds. So you have 10 seconds from right now
Oh,
to
the
join.
Snark gifted the tier 1 sub to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Snark. You are amazing. I really, really want to go back to that breakfast place that we went to. All right. Clicking start 10 seconds from right now to join us in Marbles on Stream. I forgot what this track looks like, but it's terrifying. You hold the record at 1 minute 49 seconds, which is apparently faster than the world record. So I don't think these two things match up. Let's be real here.
I'm the best.
Maybe they've changed the track and we've raced something called Coils of Power before.
Nope.
I hate that they all start with fucking funnels.
I didn't press play, did I? Oh yeah, I did. Sweet.
It's like I see your name in there.
Hey, It Nat says, gotta say the scariest notifications are the cutest I've seen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love Haunter. Haunter is the best. I'm trying to get Adam to do one where it's Ikumi Nakamura, I think her name is, but
it's spooky.
Yeah, so it's her just going like this, and it's her doing the whole it's spooky thing, and with the sound bite and all that stuff. I want that to be one of our notifications. And I think that'll be super cute. I don't know if we're allowed to do that because it's her face.
So Robin's Ghost Ball has taken the lead by far. And we're all just still circling the drain here. I don't know how Robin's record time, 1 minute 49, isn't the world record of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Because I really feel like it should be. And we got fucked on this one. Maybe I'll just email whoever it is that made this game. But it looks like Hanakiwi is the first person to get out of the toilet.
Hanakiwi just reminds me of that manga or anime called Hanakimi.
Maybe that was the pun they were going for?
Maybe.
Oh, I know. I realize now why you finished so quickly. You hit one of the teleporters and, went to the front of the line. I mean, you were already at the front of the line, I'm pretty sure, when we did this the last time. But I think Hanakiwi is going to get teleported.
Oh,
backwards!
No.
That's a pain in the ass. That wasn't fair. Woo Scarish and Miranda have jumped to the front. I hate these goddamn cubes because they slow everything down. But look, everyone's catching up right now. It's like it's raining. It's like hail. Robin's trying to take... I hate you so much. Robin's trying to take the lead. Tanya Payne's trying to navigate her way through this minefield. Robin, of course, is in first place with Spooky Zora hot on her trail. Let's all root for Spooky Zora. Going to take a step back here, and we'll all watch everyone make their way through these funnels. And hopefully there's a portal that sends Robin back to the very beginning.
The Snark says that they just learned that if you have Google credits, you can gift a sub through your Google credits.
That's interesting.
Which is really cool. What are Google credits? Teach us.
I have some Google credits because I have an account on my phone that I used to buy money for Clash of Clans with, and I'm pretty sure there's still 78 cents. God damn it. Robin won again.
Yeah, boy.
She owns this fucking track. But, okay, whoever's second place really wins, which is Spooky Zora. Congratulations, Spooky Zora, for your victory. This part's kind of fun to see who actually finishes and who actually, that sounds gross, who completes the race and who hits a teleporter and gets shot back. Miranda has come in third place. Tanya hit the teleporter and got knocked off and was eliminated. I think Amanda just tried to jump through, or someone just tried to jump through and made a teleporter. People are actually starting to complete the track. Scriptery is the fourth, Elf Huntress.
Zora is handing it to the next person. So Miranda, if you could email us at storytime@scarish.com and let us know which sticker design that you would like, and we can figure it out. And your mailing address, of course.
What you would like, where you would like it to be sent. And we still got a lot of people back there. I think a lot of people got teleported backwards. This track is brutal. I can't believe Robin has won it twice. Can you imagine how many fucking points she's going to have now? This is the worst. I'm going to figure out if I can have, someone hack the mainframe. Hanakiwi almost finished and got teleported back there, too.
I am going to make a trophy for myself.
I hate you so much.
Let's see. Tianlung says, earn Google credits by taking surveys under the app Google Rewards. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Was a thing.
Glitch says, where am I? I do not know, but we'll find out here soon because that wave of death is about to hit Hanakiwi. And we're
off to see.
Done. There we go.
The Wonderful Wizard.
The worst two-word combination. The winner, Robin Grace. All right, she got 25 points for that. No big deal. She's just
I'm
up
at
to
79
points now. Fuck this game. Let's pick something else and play it. 25 points. This is getting ridiculous, man. Holy shit. She is destroying everyone. So, second place was Spooky Zora. They passed it to Miranda. Congratulations, Miranda. Like Robin said, let us know. Woo Scarish has now 31 points. I have 27. Mike Meadows has 38. We got Valley Girls at 24. The Snark and Amanda are both tied
Emerson,
at 21.
Emerson says, first time here and I have no clue what is happening. So whenever we do our live streams like this, at the end of our live streams, we do races, these marble races, and it's free to join these races. They're just a cool thing to do at the end of our streams so that we can interact with you guys and kind of have fun.
Give out some free merch.
Yeah, so the winners of each race get like a free sticker or something like that.
Or bring it up or bring it down a little bit, because some stories end really scary, some stories end really sad.
Yeah.
So we kind of try and like ease our way out together so no one has to leave feeling too many feels.
Thank you so much, A Meadows, Amanda, for subscribing.
Thank you, Amanda. We appreciate you. And that is the end of Marbles on Stream, so we're going to go back to the normal view for you folks and go ahead and end this episode the typical way we do, which is by saying stuff with our mouth holes.
Yes, thank you to everyone who sent in their homegrown horrors this week. You guys are awesome, and we are so thankful, because without your stories, there is no story time.
Totally true.
And everybody that's supported us through our live stream and everything like that tonight, any type of support you guys give us, it really does help keep this podcast going, because we can't do it without you. And we are all based on our community. It's just you, all our spooky friends, our spooky fam. You guys are awesome.
It's totally true. And if you have a story that you thought of while you were listening to this that you would like to share, whether or not you want it to be read on the show, or you just want to share it with us and just like kind of tell it to someone, because a lot of times people are like, no one's going to believe this. I just have to tell someone that this happened to me. We get those a lot. You can email storytime@scarish.com. That is our email address. You can go to our website, scarish.com, click on contact us, fill out that form. It'll come directly to us. Or hit us up on our social medias. We have Facebook, which is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. You can message us there. Instagram is @scarishpodcast. You can message us there. And Twitter is @scarishpod. You can tweet at us or just DM us. Slide into our DMs if you need to. And say hey. And we appreciate all of the support we get, all of the things that you share with us. We have a lot of folks that join us on the live shows that like to subscribe. A lot of people use their Amazon Prime subscription, which you can link with your Twitch account and get one free sub. I know we say it to all the people during the live show a whole bunch to remind them. But we get this money that doesn't come out of their pockets. It comes from the money that they're already paying to their Amazon Prime. And if you ever want to join us, we will 100% help you out with that. And it's just a fun time, man. It's really, really a good time to talk to you folks about what these stories are like and react to them like live with you. And it's like the best thing we do all week. So thank you to everyone who does that. And anyone who would like to support us financially, Robin has those hot deets.
So you can go on over to patreon.com/scarishpodcast, and those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1. Right now, I do have really cool promotion where we have some summer merch that you can get your hands on, and there's a discount code for patrons, and it's 10% off our entire Teespring store. So if you want to pick up some cool new stuff for the summer, or some threads for winter, because we got sweaters too, you know what I'm saying?
We also got blankets.
We got blankets. Yes, we have blankets.
And pillows.
And
Get
pillows.
yourself a set.
Yeah, do it.
And baby onesies.
Yes, anyone having a baby? Because you know you want scarier stuff. But seriously, any support is awesome. Patreon.com/scarishpodcast. But we also do Ko-fi or Coffee, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And those are one-time donations if you're not the monthly subscription type. And those are all donations that help us upgrade our studio setup. So we've bought this mics with them, the camera, all that stuff, and will help us upgrade this computer here that's chugging along. So
yeah, and thank you so much to everyone that joins us. Thank you to everyone that listens, even all the silent spooky friends out there. We appreciate every one of you.
Yes.
Someone's like, that's me in your car right now or at work.
Yeah.
We love you. Seriously, we do. And thank you so much for listening to us and supporting us in all the ways that you do, even though we've never heard you or met you or like know your name. Like, we know you're there and we appreciate you. So I think that's just about everything we have for this episode, though. So Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.